Hello, Internet. Welcome to the John Dungeon Master Ordeals of Livistio, featuring all these wonderful people whose nameplates they should take a look at on the stream right now. Because none of them have seen the nameplates, and I didn't tell them the nicknames I gave them. Going in clockwise, we have Jeff, my name Jeff, followed by Diggy, the Lunatic Supreme. We got Ruben, also known as Al, also known as Ya Boy. Finally, well, not finally. Next we have Seth, the International Man of Mystery. Then we have Greg Big McLarge Huge, followed by Henrietta, the Chicken Chaser. I am your host, John Dungeon Master, sometimes known as John DM, other times known as that guy over there who is probably shouldn't supposed to be over there. Welcome, everyone, one and all. It's good to be back.
Good to be here. Thank you.
So glad to be the International Man of Mystery.
You are my International Man of Mystery. You're like, John, I'll be overseas next week, and I can't tell you why. No.
No, I mean, I didn't say that.
We've established that a dog has security clearance.
Yeah,
clearly
the dog
there's
has the codes to, you know.
The
but
dog
is
is
it
the
like
one
chicken
that needs to be
chaser?
over
It sounds
there.
a little questionable.
You haven't played Fable?
No chickens were harmed by me. I mean, I ate them, but that was after they were dead.
Jesus Christ. I
think you're just the dog's cover story.
Oh, okay. Is this like the next Air Bud movie? Air Bud has
right
the
now.
nuclear launch codes?
Forget the outfield. No launch codes. Oh dear.
Greg, I have you at 200% for some reason. I don't know
I'm
why.
very loud.
Yeah.
I don't know why you would do that.
I don't know either, honestly.
You're actually really quiet on my end. I think you're also really... Yeah, I also have you at 186%.
Well, I'll be keeping an eye on stream so that whenever anyone says any criticism at all, I can become super hyper offensive or defensive and then go on the offense. That's my goal in this entire stream, is just to engage with chat and facilitate roleplay and get in arguments online. But before that, I kind of want to go around the table. Now, we've all introduced each other to each other, but I want to introduce you all to the stream. And we are going to start with Jeff. Jeff, say hello to the internet. You're famous now.
Hello, internet. Hello. Hey, how's it going? It's my first time on YouTube. Am I doing good? Am I doing good?
You're doing fantastic.
Hello. I'm glad to be here. Should I say something special? Should I say something
you
not
can share
special?
whatever you want. I'm not going to stop you.
I'll just share that I'm happy to be part of the game, and I can't wait to see where it's going.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Next up, we have Diggy, also known as the Lunatic Supreme.
Yep. Hello. It is I, the Grand Lunatic Supreme. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to play. And I am glad to be featured on the newest episodes of Geopolitical Buddies.
Yeah, Geopolitical Buddies. We're
I
changing
like that
the
team
name
name.
of the
Like this
stream.
one? Yeah.
Next up, we got Ruben, also known as Al, also known as Ya Boy. How are you?
I'm great. It's your boy, Ruben. Happy to be here. Happy to play some great Dungeons and Dragons.
Hell yeah.
Hi, Internet.
Next up, we have my International Man of Mystery himself, with crazy chest hair that he's legally not allowed to show on stream, Seth.
Hi, I'm Seth. So my interesting fact is, it's going to be Edinburgh, Amsterdam, London, and then back home. I'm not an International Man of Mystery. I didn't want to say 4 places.
Oh, okay.
That's what that
fair.
was, John.
I still think it's international, and since none of us have seen you, you are a man of mystery to us, okay?
To be fair, this is all a facade. I have Nicolas Cage faced off. I stole my brother's face just to take the dog that is a 4-star general, or, you know.
He's lobbying in Congress as we speak. Next up, we have Greg, Big McLarge Huge himself. Hello. How are you?
Apparently quite large. Didn't realize I had obtained this title yet, but I am happy to have it, I suppose. Maybe I need to go on a diet? I don't know.
Oh.
I am Greg. I am a dungeon master extraordinaire over on my Twitch channel when I can be present enough to run it, which unfortunately hasn't been recently. But I have a big backlog here on YouTube of 2.5 years worth of West Marches, which will be starting up again, hopefully within the next 3 to 5 months. I'm very excited to be here and play with you all, and I am looking forward to having a grand old time.
Very cool. And finally, we have Henrietta, our chicken chaser, the Fable reference, and not a harming of animals lady, because
it's a very bad name. But you know what? It's okay. I did actually have pet chickens once, I would like you guys to know, and they were very sweet, and I didn't hurt them at all.
Did they taste good?
They were not
Were they named Chicken Nugget?
They died very
Chicken
peacefully in their sleep. They were old ladies.
Chicken.
Okay. Hi everyone, I'm Henrietta, also known as Hen. The name has no relation to chickens. It's just short for Henrietta, I promise.
And it's just, your profile picture on Discord.
I would like to roll an insight check.
20.
All the dots are
theme
connected.
going around.
Pretty sure Twitter too.
It's just, it's for everyone else. The convenient nickname is for you.
Okay.
I did that for you.
Perfect. Alrighty.
Hi everyone. Hi YouTube.
Hello, hello indeed. Now, this is the part of the stream where I introduce all of our viewers to the concept and the themes of this stream. Now, our story is going to be taking place in, I don't want to call it generic fantasy world, because as you all know, people of the YouTubes and people in this call, I write a lot, sometimes excessively, so it's not generic, it's John DM branded. That's what that one is, alright? And we live in the world of Eos. Yes, the common, very common fantasy name that someone just told me is the same name for Final Fantasy XIV. I've never played Final Fantasy XIV, and if anyone says otherwise, they're a filthy liar, and Dragoons are, in fact, the best class in that entire game. No.
So you've heard.
No, I haven't. Shh. Anyway, in Eos Minoris, a subcontinent slash, I don't know, coastal region of the bigger Eos Majoris continent, there is a little landlocked country known to us as Livistio. The more Italian you can say the name is, the more correct it is via punctuation. So however extreme you guys want to get with it, by all means, it's all correct. And this little landlocked country, nestled between all the others, is about to have some ordeals to go through. And who better to view those ordeals and experience them than the royal family? One of you is a prince, princess, or, as I like to call them, heir to this kingdom of Livistio. In the future, the crown will be yours, provided you survive long enough to inherit it. And the others are their entourage, their private retinue of trusted allies, soldiers, spies, or future betrayers, honestly. Would the heir like to wave their hand in front of their face and show everyone?
Hello!
Yes.
I will be playing the heir.
Greg indeed will be playing the heir, which means if he if he just can't make a session, a wrench is just thrown in my plans forever. Like, if he quits the campaign at any point, we're doomed, guys. The heir's gone.
That would be big memes. I don't know.
No pressure,
Hey,
Greg.
don't worry. I'm sure we can, falsify some, documents and, oh yeah, I'm totally the long-lost daughter of the king, definitely.
Yeah, we start committing fraud on the local government. It's just a massive derailment of nope, we gotta put a pretender on it now.
The king's old. He can't have another. Well, I guess he does have another kid. Never mind.
He does have another kid. Yeah, come on, cut him some slack. Dad's doing all right for himself. Seth, come on. But yes, Greg will be our air player, and then we will have our retinue, our entourage, as I called them in the advertisement. Say hello, entourage, all at once. Let's hear it.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Yes.
Hello, Entourage.
Now
We've
I
given
don't.
John too much power.
Yes. Yes.
That's why
Right,
there was
come
a
on.
dotted line at the end of the application.
It's true. The entourage will have a bit of their own trials and ordeals to go through as well. For just because they're not in the direct line of succession does not mean people don't want their jobs. You guys are in very influential positions right now. You are part of the court. Everyone knows you. Or most people know you, at least people who matter and who are super important or rich. And you all will have your own little Game of Thrones trying to meander around the other courts that will undoubtedly try to influence the heir in your place. Some of you will be more loyal than others, others will be more ambitious, and then some might just be supplicants who just want to do their job for honor and glory. I won't judge, no matter what. Moving on. I suppose we can just
Yeah, I didn't
start...
believe that statement, sorry.
Yeah, I'm not going to judge you guys. I'm just, here to facilitate the good times and the bad times.
You see how my face is cast in darkness to, metaphorically represent the two-faced nature of me?
Perfect. There are some little meme mechanics that we will be going over, specifically around characters and their character bonds. Now, John has a bunch of rules you guys have all gone through, accepted, and we will reference them throughout play, but I'm not going to go over them on stream. They are publicly accessible, or publicly enough to be accessible, I suppose. Yeah, feel free to have those tabbed over, and if John ever forgets them, they're written down. I wrote them, so you guys should be able to throw that in my face at any point in time. Are you guys ready to make some characters?
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Now, John did open with stat generation the last time we were making characters. And by making characters, I mean talking about making characters. However, I think we're all adult enough to have the conversation of how we might want to generate these stats. If we can't unanimously come up with a fun way to do it, we will default onto the standard arrays. But I know we have some die-hard rollers in the chat. I also am a big fan of Snake Draft, which me and Greg did in a 5-shot, I believe it was, which was incredibly fun. I'm also, there's 6 players here, guys, right? Did I miscount? No, that means 6 players, 6 attributes. We could all roll one set of dice for someone's attributes, and then they're stuck with that. Wouldn't that be fun?
Oh,
I mean, yeah, that'd be really fun, but
it's
Very
cruel.
tempting.
Look, if you get mad at someone because they rolled the 4, then you won't be mad at me. I'm okay with
That's actually a really crual idea. I love it.
let me roll the intelligence, I beg you.
Oh, we all assign an
Let me find a good D20.
I love the idea, and I
That would be very
hate
funny.
it at the same time.
Just as a
It
reminder
lends
to
itself
the
bonds
audience.
very well. Jeff has rolled my intelligence lowly. I shall therefore get my revenge.
I will use my 20 strength to get revenge on my 4 intelligence. Let's go.
Let's do it. How do you guys want to do this? I am just here to facilitate the fun time, so whatever you guys decide is up to you all now.
The more you say facilitate, like, the less I'm like, you know.
I'd definitely be up for rolling stats. If I might propose this, a small bit of mercy so that if one of us rolls obscenely terrible, they might get a small buff. I definitely... No, that's never happened to me. Why do you ask?
Mm.
Rolled stats are a double-edged sword.
I have
down
always
for it,
been a 3d6 down the line believer, and I won't back down here. But I know that a lot of people dislike that, so I'm not trying to make you roll the dice. If you have a different opinion, but I do believe that it facilitates, to use John's word, the most authentic Dungeons and Dragons experience.
I am also a dice purist. I welcome the pain that it causes, and that's part of the fun.
It seems like we are all...
Yeah, very flexible.
I'm gonna
person.
say
I'm okay with
roll
whatever.
2. Yep.
Alright, it seems like we are wanting to roll the dice, choose our own fate, say goodbye to John's hard thought and totally not ripped off standard array system, and gamble.
All very proud of you.
It was great.
No, you
It
tried
was
your
great,
best.
John.
I mean, hold on. Let's make it more of a conversation just for John.
No,
I mean,
no,
does
it's
anyone
fine.
want to
It's
take a
okay.
stance?
It's okay. You know, I spent at least
He's here
2
for the
seconds.
facility. He said it
I'm
himself.
facilitating. Is this the meme word of the week? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
How are we wanting to roll them? Are we wanting to just do 4d6 and pool it? Are we wanting to... well, you know, there's a million ways to roll a dice, guys.
I usually do 4d6 and drop the lowest.
Yes.
That's the classic.
Classic.
Yeah.
Classic.
I'm a
I
fan
like
of the
the-
classic.
That is a thing that people really like to do, but the classic is 3d6
Just
down
roll
the
it.
line.
Yeah.
That is the classic.
We have a
but
semantic
Not anymore.
Purist award going to Greg Big
know.
McClargy.
Over here with his finger up and everything.
Get you some glasses to push up your nose.
If I had
Actually.
them.
Actually,
I'm actually.
Yeah, it's not from the classical era, so it doesn't count as a classic.
Actually.
You got it. Jealous of your glasses now.
Just
During
buy
the
some.
face-off
They're
surgery,
free.
I also got LASIK, so no more
Yeah.
glasses.
Oh, look at you, Mr. LASIK Surgery, international man of mystery.
I'm leaning into the International Man of Mystery. You caused this.
Okay. Are we wanting to
Sounds like
just
4061, John.
4061? Are we just gonna all roll our own? Do we want to share the burden of responsibility when we roll like shit? Or,
I will say, the idea of all of us rolling for like one stat for everyone, that sounds terrible and I love it.
I'm down.
Yeah.
I call
vote for
I mean,
this.
Constitution.
I'm down, but yeah, we gotta pick who's rolling what, and we gotta
Exactly.
openly
All
roll
right.
it.
I'm now
It's
typing.
like an extra 20 minutes of like planning.
Who
Are
wants
you ready
to
for that,
roll?
Mr. Facilitator? Are you ready?
Who wants to roll everyone's strength?
I'll do it.
I'll do it.
All right.
I'm
Jeff was
McClargy.
first. I
right.
don't care, Greg. You can
You
be
can do it.
on.
You can.
Oh, Jeff.
You can do it.
All right.
Who wants
Stop
to
being
be
so nice.
dexterity? Eeny,
I
meeny,
chase
miny, mo.
chickens, so I'll be Dex.
Henrietta is gonna be Dex. Next up is Constitution. I'm assigning that to Greg. Next up, we have Intelligence. Who wants to roll Intelligence for everyone?
I mean, I want it.
Alright, Seth. You
I,
got it.
yeah.
Guys, we're
Yeah.
down to Wisdom and Charisma. Who wants Wisdom?
I'll take wisdom.
Alright, and then finally is our Charisma themselves. Who are we? Diggy. There we go. I didn't lose track
So
of my
charismatic
players.
that you can't even remember me.
So much
I
riz.
slip from your mind like a shadow.
It's because I'm already crazy, you know? I was crazy once.
I've never wanted to roll
They put me
lower
in a room.
more.
A rubber.
Okay, here's the next question. Are we rolling in Roll20 or are we rolling?
We will be
Actual dice.
rolling in Roll20. However, I'm still assigning character sheets to people. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to
I
hit
will wait
all
patiently.
players for all of these character sheets. Let's... They always
So
generate
unfortunately,
weird names.
I'm an idiot, and there are 2 Seths in that game. So feel free to kick the one that is. I think that's brown.
I don't see multiple Seths. What game are you in? I don't even see you
Yeah.
in this game.
You don't?
Are you sure you're in the right
What?
Roll20, dude?
What?
I see Henrietta, Greg, Jeff, and in the Diggy
I'm
hole, which I
pink.
assume is Diggy.
I'm pink.
Whatever. I fixed it now. We're good.
You fixed it?
Never mind.
I see
Yeah.
Snacksy, which I think is Ruben, and there's Seth.
I'm
Perfect.
rare.
We will go to 2, all players. You'd think I would have done this in advance, guys, but I like to have a good time and waste your time, apparently. There's 3. 4, we'll go to all players. So if everyone would like to just claim a number between 1 through 6, and that sheet will be yours, and after we all create our characters, we'll lock them in. Because we're doing weird... What do you call it? There we go. That's going to be 5. We're doing weird character starting levels, which I will explain to the audience once we're at that point. Yeah.
I'll take sheet number 4.
Perfect. And now that we all can assign ourselves a beautiful character sheet, we're just gonna click, for example, on 1, use the Character Mancer, go immediately to abilities, skipping everything else. We're gonna choose custom, and then we will be rolling. Sound good, everyone?
Alright.
Sure.
If we
Yep.
must use the character sheets.
I
Terrifying.
love the Character Mancer, Greg. I think editing the sheet
I'm
directly...
philosophically opposed to
I know
computers
you are.
knowing the rules for me.
Who chose what
No.
numbers so far?
I think
chose
we have
6.
I've got
4
4.
and 6, and oh, we're changing the name perfectly. You can hit edit at the top next to that X button, and then you will
Fuck
be
it.
able
I'll
to.
take
Nice.
1, I guess, because intelligence needs to be a little bit recognized.
Yeah.
I'll take 5.
And while
I'll
we are
take 2
there,
then.
I'm gonna move us to the map where I'm afraid will crash your game. So I'm actually not gonna do that right now. We're gonna hang out here until we have character sheets.
You're
How's that
only
sound?
delaying the inevitable.
Very true.
Let us all crash and burn.
Jeez. Okay. Well, if everyone has a character sheet assigned, just head on into abilities or, in Greg's case, since he wants to be special, he can go
Oh, no,
and edit
you
his
told
sheet
me off.
directly.
I'm in here now.
Oh, okay. And then Jeff is going to roll 40-60-1 6 times, as if he was rolling his own character just down the line. Are you ready, Jeff?
Whoa. I think I'm ready. Yep.
All
Yep, I
right,
got the
we
right
are going
command.
to assign the numbers. So the first person you roll will be Seth, followed by yourself, followed by Greg, followed by Diggy, followed by Rube, followed by Hen. Sounds
Is
good?
group strong? Let's find out.
Yes. So starting with Seth, roll me 40-61.
okay.
Bro.
This is the no contact survives first contact, or no plan survives first
Or-
contact moment.
46, yes. Sorry, my brain turned off for a second. Let's see.
4d6d1 for Jeff. No, not you. Oh,
Oh,
no, Seth.
you told me to roll!
I wanted it for it to be you.
He's rolling for you.
We're gonna
Ah.
disregard that. Jeff is doing the
Just
only
disregard
rolls right now.
Okay. Okay. So.
You guys know the macro for that?
46. What's the macro for that?
I do not, actually.
Here we go. There you go.
There you go. Thank
Looks
you.
like
Oh,
that.
that makes
Okay.
sense.
So just
And then you put
slash
the,
R.
yeah, the slash R.
Slash R space
Okay.
4d6d1.
Right, come on, strength.
All right, Seth, you start with 11. Beautiful strength. Next
Paladin.
up is Jeff, yourself. You have to roll high. You want high strength, surely, right?
Sure. Yeah, I do. I do not. It's a lie. I do not.
Oh. Oh no, you got the 8, Jeff. Next up is Greg.
All right.
Let's see how strong Greg is, guys. Is Greg suddenly big
Sorry.
McLarge?
Here we go.
Well,
Not nearly as big as he'd like,
acceptable.
but acceptable. Okay, next up is Diggy. Is this our strength main? A 13. That's not the worst thing in the world. But
I
Jeff,
mean, so far we only have one negative, so.
true. Let's see what Rube gets. Another
Big numbers.
13.
Okay.
Oh, is Henrietta gonna
Pretty
be
bad.
our
Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
barbarian?
Listen. I'll be okay with it.
Okay, let's see it.
Oh my god.
Now,
Only
guys,
in the 11 club.
I want to point out what we have just done is rolled a regular character by standard D&D thing. Can anyone imagine taking this stat line and being like, yeah, this is a good character in the making for sure?
Oh, I like it.
I mean, like, I could
You
make
like
something
Get like
out of
racial
it.
You would play this?
bonuses and
Honestly,
things like that.
I
This
would
is-
play it, yeah.
This is a good. These are good numbers to build up on. All right.
It can
We'll
work.
We've made
respect
one
you.
well-rounded character, but instead it's gone to 6 people, and that's okay.
All right. Well, as we move on
Accepted our
to
choices.
Jeff, or not Jeff, blah blah blah. Who's our dexterity?
Who's me?
Henrietta. Henrietta, if you
I'm
roll
the
like
dexterity.
3 18s here and just destroy everyone,
Yeah.
John's initial
We're
thesis
all rogues.
of why we do standard array is going to be proven. So let's see.
Okay.
You do dexterity.
Or
here.
maybe we all just run a lot immediately.
Oh,
Throw
okay.
it.
Or maybe you'll just get a bunch of
Yeah.
perfectly average
Okay.
stats.
Seth,
I am
oh no,
not
you have
strong or
10 dex.
dexterous. I'm gonna go last always.
Next up, Henrietta, we got Jeff's dex. Is that a 12?
Okay. I can
All
work.
right, all
That's a
right.
12.
I can work with a 12.
Let's see what Greg's
Okay.
is. You need to roll high here. Fuck.
9.
I feel like so many average rolls is still statistically significant.
You
Like,
know? uh, next
I
up,
apologize on behalf of
If the
everyone.
next one
12.
is a
For my
9.
family.
That was for you, Diggy.
Yep. Oh, that's the highest stat we've ever rolled.
Ruben,
All
you're
right,
quick.
all right.
You're quick on your feet. You got a 14 there.
Okay, we got one more, right? Am I counting
more.
correctly? I am. Me.
It's okay. We're just not going to be a lot of marshals. We're just all going to be spellcasters. We're going to roll very high for our middle
With an
stat.
11
No, we got
intelligence?
race, we got background, there's so many other things that could help us.
We're all academics, okay? This is gonna be
I
the
love
Earth
how a
of Wizards.
meme became canon in 3 seconds flat.
Greg, I think you're rolling con for everyone.
I am rolling.
Listen, all the
everyone's
members
con.
of the entourage are here to facilitate, actually.
give me a 20 con. Do it.
All right.
You can do it.
Are you ready? All
Let
right.
me
Top
put some.
con.
There we go. Oh,
Hey.
14.
Hey.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
good. That's good.
highest
Second
so far.
con is a 9.
Oh, boy.
Jeff, oh no.
Third con is me. That's a
Oh, no.
14.
Okay,
Alright,
you'll survive
me,
the
I'm next.
poisoning.
Yep. Fourth con is an 11.
I might survive
Alright.
the poisoning.
All right. Fifth con is an 11. And
Averaging
our
out,
final
averaging out.
Constitution score is a 12.
Hey.
Now, John's gonna give you all what is known as the ability to walk back our previous decision, since we have now essentially excluded all marshals forever. Would you guys like to do
All right.
standard array now? Or are we committing to this
Does
bit?
anyone want to do any trading? Do you guys want to trade? Anyone interested in the trade?
I mean,
I'm
are we
personally
gonna commit?
satisfied with what I have. I wasn't planning on playing a marshal. I'm okay with it.
Oh,
Like I can make this work. Like I'm
I'm
down
happy
to
to
commit to
play.
Can I give
nothing.
someone?
honest-
Does someone want
honestly,
one
I'm-
strength? I'll give
I'm okay
them
to
one
commit.
strength, and I'll go down to 10.
We're all
So, yeah.
fairly.
I have
Even.
13 strength, 12 dexterity, 11 constitution. So logically, I'm going to have 10 intelligence, 9 wisdom, and 8 charisma.
Not logically.
All right, well.
I'm pretty at 11.
Can I bargain here? Can I do a?
Yeah, can we do a swap meet at the
Can I
end?
do some swap meet?
Look, I'm
not
so
tracking
sorry,
this.
John, but I must commit to the bet.
All right, we're
Yeah,
committing.
I gotta go with
Who's our intelligence
Chat, I hope you
roller?
appreciate this.
That was
This is
me.
peak entertainment.
All
This is
right,
as
you're
best as
rolling
it's
your
gonna get.
int first, Seth.
Oh God, here we.
All right, are
Only
we?
Nick,
serious.
I mean-
Oh, it's okay. Okay, 13.
We can't
Okay.
roll above
I'm
the
I am
15.
I am Mr. Average.
Oh my
the
god,
club.
we are the normal people.
I mean, statistically speaking, we've rolled what, 3 sets of. We've rolled 18 times and we haven't rolled a 15 or higher. That is statistically significant, you know.
Oh my-
Greg's air was really out there, just like give me just the most normal people in the
Yeah,
castle.
just the most normal people.
Just
He took
commoners.
5 janitors with him.
Hey, you know, if
We
you
are
gotta
the
see the
nepotism
world, you
entourage.
gotta see the salt of the earth, right?
Who am I rolling for now? I just want
Uh,
you to be able to feel the pain as I
fuck,
do it.
I'm
sorry.
so sorry. I've lost track.
I think it's
Jeff.
Jeff.
It's
Right, rolling
Jeff.
for
Yeah,
Jeff.
yeah, it's Jeff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
Sorry.
god, Jeff.
13, 12. The next one's an 11. We're going places.
Okay.
The next
Come on,
up is
11.
Greg's. Greg's
All right.
in.
All right,
Come
Air.
on, 11.
I've
Okay.
gifted the Air 14 intelligence.
You
We're
broke
so
the
close
pattern.
to a 15, guys.
All right. I need a 10 if I'm gonna go straight down the line decreasing.
Next up is
I need a 10.
excuse me.
15. 15.
There
I'll
we
be a
go.
Let's
wizard.
go.
Oh my
13.
god.
13. All right.
Okay, no
Averaging
wizards.
out.
Next
Alright.
up is
Alright,
Rube.
two more
This
chances.
is Rube's.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Oh.
sorry.
Wait, who was the last one for?
The last one, fourth is Diggy. So whatever
Oh,
the fourth
yeah.
number
Sorry.
was.
Okay, so 13 for. Okay.
Yes.
16 for.
Damn. Oh,
Okay.
We
alright.
have
Good.
our
Ruben
wizard,
or
folks.
Followed
We
by
found him. We found the wizard.
It's the mustache. It was, you know.
Okay, 13. Lots of 13s. Wow. Lots
Eric.
of.
The great news is we have no weaknesses. We're just all average.
We're academics.
No, we have
okay?
one person. We have one person with one weakness.
Okay.
Way to jinx it, guys.
Rube, you are rolling our wisdom, correct?
No, we need
Yes,
one more.
I am.
Do we?
Oh wait,
Wait,
we
no,
need one
13.
more.
I got
No, that was
Yeah.
sick.
I didn't
Yeah,
see it.
I was about to-
One,
My bad,
two,
my bad.
3, 4, 5,
13.
6.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Let me go ahead and
Give me some
post-
wisdom.
Next
Here you
is
go.
wisdom for Rube. Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Rolling
Okay,
high.
okay.
Oh, sorry. I did that
All
before the
right.
line.
No,
Oh,
no, it's
thank you.
good, it's good.
It's reciprocation.
That
Are
is
we
for
are we a
right?
party of clerics?
Here comes Jeff.
Got a bunch of college
Oh,
professors.
God.
in the, yeah, just
We're a party of
What
fucking
is going
clerics.
on?
a bunch of PhD students. Like,
Who's next?
That would be
That
Greg.
would be your heir.
Come on, Greg.
Oh,
Ooh,
Okay.
the air is not
Okay.
wise. Tracks.
All right. Am I wise?
Tracks.
Yeah.
Tracks.
Am I
And
wise?
then I think it is.
it is
me.
Diggy next, followed by yourself, followed by him.
Damn.
Very well.
Oh, there's that
Oh.
16.
Okay. Okay. I can work with this.
Druid question mark?
I have one good stat. I can work with this.
Followed by yourself,
Okay. Who's next?
you.
Myself? I'm
Fifty.
lucky.
What is going on?
We're
wow.
a pretty wise group.
Rube, you're rolling hot. Finally, is Hen.
Typically, I roll really bad because I'm a forever DM.
We better knock on all the wood right now.
10.
Oh.
Oof.
Sorry.
Not
Oof.
quick
I don't.
enough.
I don't
okay.
have wood. I have cheap
Sorry,
plaster
it's my
walls.
prejudice getting in the way of my wisdom.
Oh man,
All
I
right.
laugh so
Already
hard
it
I've
hurts.
destroyed
my
my
character is
sinuses.
really mean.
And finally, how screwed are we going to get over in politics?
You know, charisma.
Give me that charisma. Give me my charisma score.
Starting with Saf.
15.
Oh my god, so
Oh.
charismatic.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Next up is
Ah.
Jeff.
Charismatic is fucking wise as fuck.
My turn. Okay, I can work with that. Okay.
Number 3, 13. All right.
13,
This is for me. I just need to perform a human sacrifice before I roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Two 16s, Diggy.
Two
Damn.
16s. I have choices. All right. 15 again.
What is happening?
Yeah. Can I
Ruben
take
and
that back?
Diggy, the
on-
powerhouses of the party. Fuck.
Henrietta.
We finally got a 17.
Yeah, I think I've changed my mind. I think I wish I was rolling for myself. I think I was doing that, right? That's what I was doing.
Okay.
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 We have rolled a lot of stats, and I kind of just want to know what everyone is down the line. So, Jeff, starting with you, what do you have to work with here?
Who's you?
Jeff.
Jeff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I rolled an 8 in strength, 12 in dexterity, 9 in constitution, 12 in intelligence, 15 in wisdom, and 13 in charisma.
You know,
Could be worse.
it could very well be worse. What about you, Diggy?
I have 13, 12, 11, then breaking the pattern, 13, and 2 16s in both wisdom and charisma.
Huge, huge. Ruben?
I have a 13 strength, a 14 dexterity, an 11 constitution, a 16 intelligence, a 15 wisdom, and a 15 charisma.
Okay, that's a pretty solid stat line.
I
What
feel
about you,
very
Jeff?
powerful.
Solid.
I feel
I'm rocking with an 11 strength, a 10 dexterity, a 14 con, a 13 intelligence, a 15 wisdom, and a 15 charisma. So I've,
Yeah.
kind of
Seems
shit,
like
but
we're
kind of good.
leaning towards spellcasters. What about you, Greg?
I have 12 strength, 9 dexterity, 14 constitution, 14 intelligence, 11 wisdom, and 13 charisma.
Okay, and finally, Henrietta.
I have an 11 in strength, a 10 in dexterity, a 12 in constitution, a 13 in intelligence, a 10 in wisdom, and then coming out with a 17 in charisma.
We have our bard, folks.
Okay. This is the Oops All Bards and Wizards team.
Yeah.
So, to
No
get a little
one
bit
can
more
ever
variety,
be frontline, ever.
A bunch of musical theater kids.
I will be allowing you to move your stats around however you see fit. I know it's not what we said initially, but I don't want to destroy you with
So nice of you.
one cavalryman who will walk up to you on horseback and just kind of murder you all quite quickly. So I will allow at least one person, if they want to have a strength higher than 8 or 11, I think our highest was. If that is what you decide and or wish to
I guess
do.
the question, I have a 17, so I can put that in anything and just make that like my...
True.
I can put it in strength, I can keep it in charisma, or I can put it in intelligence. But I feel like in intelligence we're pretty well rounded.
I think it comes down to like who wants to play what and what we need to move where. Because I'm okay with making a paladin with what I have, but I would request to maybe move my 13 intelligence to strength to balance that 11 out.
Yeah, I've got a fairly good wisdom. I could also switch that with strength and become a paladin.
Whatever you guys want to do, moving them out, your numbers are set. We have rolled them. They are never going back. We have spat in the face of John halfway through, who gave you the option to walk away. So whatever numbers you have forever. But I will not legally hold you accountable if a 13 suddenly gets shifted around. So you can decide that for yourselves as we move on to the next phase of character creation. As John takes a little gander at his, what do you call it, character itinerary? Honestly.
I would like to point out that we rolled much better in the second half than we did in the first half.
Yeah.
The god of bits rewarded us. We must commit to the bit, and we will be favored by the gods.
John's gone soft.
We were the
El
definition
Holiday.
of that. They had us in the first half, not gonna lie. That was...
That was on us, guys. That was on us. Sorry.
I know the very last roll was a 17.
Yeah, that was...
Very, very
And like I said, I'm okay with throwing that wherever. I'm okay with also being the bard.
I can play
want to
anything
move things around.
except a barbarian.
John,
Say
El
anything
Holiday
except
in
the
chat is accusing you of going soft. What do you have to say to this?
Demand his real name and address
Because
to physically.
we're also charismatic. We convinced John.
I will send the 4-star general dog after you.
Hey, I'm just
He has
giving you the
security clearance,
option to
you guys.
weasel
It's
out.
really
If you
serious.
guys want, you can stick with whatever you rolled in whatever order you rolled. Okay. I'm not making you do anything. I'm just giving you. I'm
Like
facilitating
Diggy said, I'm
options.
committing to the bit,
Okay.
keeping my stats.
I may also commit to the bit, but that depends if we have anyone else that's able to be a martial class. If not, I will be changing something.
I can maybe be a monk or a warlock. Please.
I could definitely pull off an Eldritch Fighter or an Arcane Trickster.
I mean, at this point, if I leave it as it is, and if I move like my intelligence and my strength, I could make a decent paladin. I wouldn't be a heavy hitter, but I could be there.
Understood.
I could make a mean druid right now.
Then let me go ahead
Really?
and talk about our next phase / part of our questions. Let's stop
Is it not
talking about
class?
classes for right now.
It's
Let's
not
start
class.
talking
Oh, it's not class. Okay.
about themes, just for a little bit. Now, we will
Sort of.
undoubtedly all have roles to play in the court of Livistio. After all, some of you are friends to the heir, having grown up with them because you just so happened to be in that age category, and thus you had the privilege of being their friend growing up. Some of those people...
And it was a privilege, damn it.
It really was, because honestly, they... After reading my own,
Sorry,
lore... It's fine, Greg. After reading my own lore, I realized just how lonely a childhood Greg's character is going to have if he has no friends at all. So I hope at least one of you will bite the bullet and,
Not only that, they are a 22-year-old half-elf. So, a child.
Not a child. Come on, get it together.
A teenager.
A teenager, yeah.
Sure, you can say that.
Other than that, we have potential instructors / servants who were kept around to hopefully teach the heir something useful, at least when they were an adult, or until they were an adult, before they could legally, blow you off and say, we're done learning. Which, now you're just stuck with them, following them around, and, that can lead to all sorts of interesting interactions, as you have this great history with them, but also, you were a full-grown adult hanging out with a child for 20-ish years or so, which could also be quite funny and humorous to think about. Yeah, my best friend is also a guy who's, a quarter of my age, which would be somewhat sad, but it also reminds me a lot of Boston Legal, which is a show
I was going to
near
say
and dear to my
Doc
heart.
Brown and Marty from Back to the Future.
Yeah, exactly. They never explain why is this teenager best friends with a 70-year-old lunatic.
And why does no one care?
No one cares.
They're just
was
happy
the
he has a
80s.
friend.
That was normal.
That was normal, true.
We all had a 80-year-old mad scientist best friend. What?
Did you not?
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't?
The next, well, we'll all figure out kind of where we're going with that down the line as we start filling out our character sheets, which you guys are free to do, by the way. The Character Mancer is there for you to go through. Everything should be in there, race and mechanical-wise. So, you should just be able to go to class and pick Ranger or whatever.
We chatted briefly in the Discord about where, the direction we would want to take the campaign, and I think that it would be worth just kind of checking in on our feelings about that while we make our characters. I had proposed, perhaps due to the lore that we saw from John, that I would take this in a direction where the princess is ambitious, and is looking to kind of create their own little mercenary band or retinue to prove themselves the capable martial ruler that their grandfather was, but that their father seemingly is not. In the eyes of the people. And so that would take you probably away from the court, at least for campaigns or for times, and then come back as we kind of ride around to different problems, different areas of the country, to recruit members to our banner, to impress lords and ladies, to resolve conflicts. Does that sound like the type of campaign you would like to have, or have you thought differently since our kind of conversation?
That fits perfectly in the character I was originally planning to build.
Uh-huh.
So, and the stats kind of align there. So,
Okay.
I'm down.
Speaking
Does anyone
of
else
Yeah,
have
sure,
thoughts on that?
the court and castle, while I was making this and putting dynamic lighting on this map, I realized that I had done this all after what Greg had told me. So I'm wondering if I trolled myself, but I did make a dynamic map for you all. If you guys do end up staying in this castle and or who knows, throwing down in it one day to I don't know, usurp the king or whatever.
You say depose the king.
Yeah, depose him. Do whatever you want, really.
Send him
This
on
is
vacation. He'll be okay.
the king's court. The court or castle of Livistio itself. There are all sorts of cool little things there that we will... essentially, when we are making our characters, I'm going to try to find a token and then connect it to your character sheet and put them on this screen.
Very fun.
Is the chef in there? Was he a veteran of the pasta wars?
He sure was. His name is apparently Master Culinarian Roberto, or Robier.
Ooh. Robier.
What was his opinion? Is he a spaghetti guy, or is he?
He was a mercenary, jumping between both sides willy-nilly.
Oh,
Without
suffering.
rhyme or reason.
no
Not
honor.
with X's debate.
A true turncoat in the Marinara Wars.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
True.
A man after my own heart. I mean, what?
So, I did want to just, before I let John carry us away into Wonderland, I did want to just say, if we're going with that kind of concept for the air, I'm excited. That's one of the first ideas I had. I would like to prod you a little bit to think of your characters as kind of closer to my confidants and less my mentors. If you really want to be my mentor, go nuts. I'm not going to tell you not to. But if I'm, let's say, Proto-Griffith, I want you to be my Cascas and Guts of the campaign, right? I want you to be my right-hand men.
I'm not loving
I
this
promise you
metaphor.
I'm not feeding you all to a demon army. But, yeah. But,
So
if I have 6 older people who are teaching me things, then it will be harder to center you as the main characters, I feel like. If that
So-
makes sense.
the idea that I had was more of I was a wartime diplomat. I've had nothing to do for 22 years. So I've kind of just been
You've lingered
trying
around.
to get close to you and teach you and
Yeah.
not teach you, more hey, war's not bad.
War's not
Hey,
bad.
sign me up for your campaigns. I'm ready to fight.
Hey, kid,
Yeah,
you
let's
want any
go.
wartime diplomacy tips? You want any...
You want?
All right.
Want to know how to
So-
overthrow a government, kid?
I'm the CIA.
Don't you guys?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, getting my
Perfect.
17 in charisma, I'm okay with being your weird friend who's trying to start a new age of stand-up humor.
Very nice. Yes.
I test my jokes on you, you know?
We found your jester when you rule.
Yeah, exactly. I'm here. The Jester's Apprentice. I think him almost killing himself multiple times is just fantastic. That was peak comedy. Like, he's creating a new wave, and people don't understand.
That's comedy? Accidentally
Yeah.
killing yourself?
Almost dying is
I
comedy.
think the jester was faking his own death, right?
You
Like,
guys
yeah.
live in a time.
It was baller shit, okay? I thought it was pretty fucking cool, dude.
Yeah, okay.
You live in a time before slapstick comedy. So the
starting
Three
it right here.
Stooges is pretty innovative at this point in time.
So what I'm hearing is we're the Charlie Chaplin film, right? That started it all.
I mean, my concept for a character is exile from another nation, came to this one to set up shop because didn't want to get hunted down and killed.
Okay. I think that's very cool.
Yeah.
I did.
I
in
can
the
I can
Discord.
change the idea I have around. By the way, I'm not married to anything. It's session 0.
True.
I
And
think it's
same
funny.
with me.
I think
I'm firm.
I think
I'm
your
not
ideas
moving.
are great. I don't want to make you think they aren't or to try to change them. I would say that we should probably figure out how you relate to the court and the heir in some way. Right? The son of the jester or the jester's apprentice is like a perfect example, right? You're kind of built in and integrated, and there's a very good reason why I know you and probably trust or think highly enough of you to like bring along in my retinue. As a, the wartime diplomat instructor, there's some connection there, right?
Hey, my thing was
We
gonna
could
be
work
like, I
on
got
finding-
made your bodyguard or something, basically.
That very well could be. Yeah, we could find a way to work that into a bond. I think it's very mysterious to have come from another nation, and there could be a lot of intrigue in that. But I would
Yes.
love to know how we connect beyond just there's a stranger in the castle. Oh.
Also,
will be
I don't
right
know if
back.
anybody's looking at chat, but Brood,
Great.
yes, actually, war is good for the economy. So
Worse is good. For
Oh, wow. Okay.
Of course, the international man of mystery.
Write that down in my joke book. War is good for the economy.
Our goal is
Are
now
you
to
sure?
You're hilarious,
construct
man. You're great.
the Metal
I'm
Gear.
pretty sure that you've got a CIA agent on the team here.
Wouldn't be the
Seems
first
like it.
one.
We have a
And that's
Honestly.
where
dog,
he's role
actually.
playing.
The dog's a CIA agent.
I'm a reverse psyop.
Yeah.
I will be right back. I have to go get something at the door.
Would we just
It's
like to
better.
take
Okay.
our first break
It's
here?
a pizza.
Let's take our first break
Sure,
here,
sure.
and when we come back, we will have more character building, more character stuff. Yeah. Woo. Hello everyone, I hit the wrong button there for half a second, but we are back. Welcome to whatever the hell we're calling this, Ordeals of Livistio, that's what we're calling this. Ooh, I didn't forget. We are making our characters right now, after a so passionate discussion and a very humorous set of dice rolling, which I'm still chuckling about. And now it is time to put pen to paper, as it were, text to blank spaces on digital character sheet. And we're going to start with Greg, Big McLargehuge, the heir. What stuff are you thinking about in terms of your character existing?
So I think that my character is obviously, by the lore, a 22-year-old half-elf. I think you mentioned that they were a prince, so I think I will go down that road so that we don't retcon pronouns throughout your entire 17,000-word documents. This young prince has been in the castle their entire lives. Basically, they were told from a young age by the king that they were too valuable to be let loose on the world, right? They couldn't, there was no other heir. But now, a second, or a sibling, a second heir, so to speak, has been sired. Yeah. And so now it's his free reign to go about. And what the heir has learned about his father is that even though it has been a peaceful reign, and he is considered quite wise, he is seen as quite weak by much of the country. His grandfather being a great general and a powerful leader that won many battles and the respect of many people, still is revered, but to much of the kingdom, his father is not. And so he will be going about raising the status of himself. His ambition will be to raise his own banner and prove that the bloodline of his grandfather still reigns in him. In terms of like physical race and class and all of that, half elf from the lore, I think I am going to move my stats around, and I'm going to do this because I have a character concept in mind for this exact scenario, and I think that it will be better if I mess it around. Is everyone else okay with this? Because I know that there was a lot of commitment to the bit, and I will adapt if we want to commit to the bit.
Don't commit to the bit.
All right. So in that case,
it's dead.
In that case, I'm going to move my 11 to strength. I'm going to move a 14 to dexterity. I'm going to keep a 14 in constitution. I am going to put the 9 from dexterity in intelligence. I'm going to put the 12 that I had in charisma. And I'm going to move the 13 from charisma into wisdom. So that I am now 11, 14, 14, 9, 13, 12. And the reason I'm doing this is I'm going to start a monk at level 1. My character is somebody that has been cloistered inside of a castle. Not a monastery, but a castle. And they are very much not the adventuring type, but they have been taught everything from a young age, right? How to control yourself and your emotions for court, how to swing a blade, how to be wise, and these lessons they've taken to heart, specifically because their grandfather has an ancestral token. Their grandfather's rusty sword has not been taken up by his father, and rumors have it is because one must be able to master their own body and mind in order to correctly wield the Livistian ancestral blade. And as such, my character, the heir, will be on a quest not only to raise their own renown throughout the ages, but also to master themselves and prove their body and mind capable of wielding their grandfather's blade. So these are my 2 goals. I think from a personality... Huh?
Can I quickly jump in?
Oh, I thought you were saying something, John. I apologize.
Yes, I was, okay. Honestly. So, before we, grab magical heirlooms or potential magical heirlooms. I would like that to be part of the Dungeon Master's, thing, and have your character work towards that, already somewhat knowing it exists clearly, but like held within a family reliquary.
Yeah.
This is not something they would want easily lost, and although they will definitely give you, standard gear, let's be real, you're a fucking prince. We're gonna kid you out, dog. Don't worry about it. The magical heirloom of the family will likely stain the home for at least a couple of adventures before the dad will come and be like, "You have proven yourself, my son."
My intention is not for this to be a thing that I take quickly or even maybe at all in the course of our story. It is simply the thing I'm working towards. It is a goal or an objective for the character, more so than a thing I'm doing right now.
Fantastic.
It may not even be magical at all, but this is what I'm doing. It might just be a rusty sword.
If we're talking potential character arc motivations, the idea that I had wasn't just being a warmonger. The character could go one of two ways. It could be I want to guide this kid into expansion, or it could be halfway through the story, it's, hey, my oath has changed, and it becomes oath to a crown kind of thing, where like, I'm actually swearing myself to being your bodyguard, not just bodyguard in name kind of thing.
Yeah, I like that. I think that could be really fun.
Why can I not find any tokens for you, my prince? I'm looking. I am hunting. I'm on the hunt for art for you guys as we are speaking. So if I go quiet, that is
Did you want me to continue with like my thoughts on personality and other, or is that where you wanted me to stop?
I think that's quite good for the initial assessments. Okay. And from there, we will kind of adapt and move forward and undoubtedly learn more about each other as we progress. You have access to your character sheet. Hitting level 1 monk is super easy. For the viewers at home, we are doing a little bit more of a dynamic/narrative thing when it comes to our mechanics. Our heir is going to be starting at level 1, but for the entourage, they have options available for them. Some of them will choose to start at level 4, inheriting enemies from past adventures as a sign of their growth and experience. Others will start at level 3, being career specialists in their prospective class, but also having competition that is actively seeking to take their spot in court. Then we have our level 2 characters who are still learning. They still have a mentor who has either brought them here to be a useful thing while they have a more important role, or they're out in the town and for some reason their disciple/trainee/companion, maybe they're just like a family friend, honestly, somehow managed to land the gig that is working next to the king. I'm sure we have plenty of options available to us for that. And I just wanted to lay that out there so that the viewers won't be confused when someone's like, well, Jen, I'm going to be the fighter and I'm going to start at level 4. Yes, yeah. So with all that said, who wants to be next? Who has a firm character concept they're willing to pitch out and help modify and connect themselves to this heir?
I feel pretty firm.
Who just said
I'm
that?
ready.
Was that
That was
you,
me.
Hen?
Ended.
Yes. It is your turn,
Chicken
then,
chaser.
Hen. What are you thinking about?
I'm following the bit, even though the bit is dead. I'm gonna resuscitate it. Bring it back to life.
You have the paddles.
And I'm gonna be the bard friend. Level 2, because the idea I think is that I already have some expertise. I'm an apprentice of the current gesture. I'm gonna eventually be Greg's character's gesture. Is like that's my goal, that's my dream. So I'm here to psych you up, man. Like I'm your best bud. Like we're gonna do this together. You're gonna do this. You're gonna get the sword, it's rusty. You're gonna clean it. It's gonna be fine. And I'm also simultaneously like my own like internalized like goal I have is I want to bring a new wave of like humor. I think our current king is like really fucking boring. And
He is.
like we can't have that. We can't have another boring king that can't take a joke and also doesn't understand that their jester is like a genius and that he's really cool and almost killing yourself is like peak comedy. So
Okay.
that's what I'm here for. I'm riding that 17 into glory. I'm trained classically somewhere. I don't know. Make up a school. I play an instrument, but it's not.
Are you
important.
trained?
Like,
You're trained by the current jester, right?
mean,
Would
that
you
too,
like
but,
him
like,
to be
he-
your?
he found me somewhere. You know, I didn't just show up one day. I mean, maybe I did
Oh,
actually.
okay.
That'd be really funny. Showed up, threw my like fucking ukulele or something on the ground. It's like you, me.
Yeah.
Synergy, come on. Here's my stand-up
Synergy.
routine. I got a tight 5.
You
So
faked
if
your
you
own death in
want,
front of him, and he
I
thought you were
did, yeah,
perfect.
exactly. And then I came back and I like arrived in his room and I was like, so listen. So we've maybe known each other for like 3 or 4 years. I don't know.
yeah.
In that fun late teenage age. We're both half elves. I feel like that'll also be thematically appropriate. We age together. You know,
I
I've
like that.
decided that we're closer than we actually are, baby. Like, I'm like, we're
I
best
like that.
friends. If
Okay.
you're like, please leave my room.
I was also debating on doing half elf too.
I was also
Just a court of half elves. Suddenly, like everyone
We're
heard
all
of this
half
one
elves.
half elven prince,
why
and they're
we're all
like, "Let's
average,
go,
like-
hell yeah!"
But we're all outcasts. We're not welcome anywhere. It's like, hey, this guy gets it.
He's the king, man. He's gonna be the king.
I need a bard.
So that's where I'm at. That's so I'm going in strong. I'm coming out the other side, a comedy genius.
Fair.
I'm gonna write
I
the
like
first
it.
play called.
Would you say
Shakespeare.
your bard is a lute player, a flute player, or has a Glock 17? It appears. What? Why is this a token?
I think she definitely is wielding a Glock.
Yeah.
It's the key piece of her
Laugh
bit.
at my
How
joke.
is this in
No,
Forgotten
you are
Adventures?
you're Tchaikovsky. That's what you are.
What kind of
I
musical
don't hear enough laughter in
instrument
this room.
would they
Hold on.
play?
Yeah, right. Why aren't you guys laughing more, huh?
Huh?
The gun's coming out.
What do you mean I'm funny? I'm not funny.
I think a flute because not a flute. No. What's the other one? Lute.
A lute.
Because that way I can play and talk at the same time. So you don't get a break from the talking. You don't get like, I'm not gonna use my mouth to do any sort of wind instrument stuff. I
And
have to talk and play the music at the same time.
if you had to pick a color between brown, green, red, light blue, dark blue, middle blue, and then white, which would you prefer?
I like the sound of middle blue because I don't know what that means.
Alright. I have a range of tokens, alright? That's what
Middle blue.
Alright, we will do middle blue here. There we go. Ugh. Now, obviously, these tokens are just here to help facilitate the imagination. But,
Facilitate.
so don't take them exactly as they are. I found an elf with a sword and decided that looks like a monk close enough. And then I typed in bard and I found one with many shirts.
Hey.
Okay. Well, we can knock out the greater details and events after we go around the table and figure out who else has a firm commitment they're willing to make here.
I'm fairly firm, I think. Looks questioning. Okay, I got a head nod from the one person I was looking at, so we're good. Wasn't the heir or the DM, so
Well, what are you thinking about, Mr. Seth?
either half elf or just human. I kind of like half elf just so I can be an older half elf, not necessarily like really old, but like 40 years old. Like I'm
Alright.
not that old, but like, and I think I'm going to go with Oath of Conquest Paladin, I think.
Okay.
And I think, I have 22 years of there has been no job for me. I was the person who sent declarations. I was the person who tried to intimidate people into stopping before they just lost. And now I've sort of just become, with the permission of the heir's de facto bodyguard. Maybe trying to hey, telling you the old, war stories, stuff like that.
Okay.
I think it would make sense to go either, I forget what the names are, but level 3 or 4. I like the idea of 4 just because that way I have an enemy, and that sounds fucking hilarious.
It would make sense
Me
for a guy
either.
who is actively in his job description out to make enemies.
Yeah.
I think it's perfect.
I think it works out fantastically. My question is, do you prefer a hammer or a sword?
I think I prefer a sword just for the idea of holding it to somebody's throat and making them kneel for the prince.
Based.
Okay.
Okay.
We stand.
Respectable.
We stand.
Who
Stand
else
together.
will introduce the prince? if
I
not
will
you?
I will enable the Joffrey. I will.
Oh yes, the best king of Westeros, Joffrey. There we go.
well known best king.
Good
Truly.
King Joffrey.
There are people who
Oh, Lord.
actually agree to that, which is even more confusing to me.
There are?
Uh-huh.
I am suddenly concerned.
You should be. Alright, who is up next? Any...
Am I going? Are you going?
Jeff, I heard your voice. Let's hear
Please,
you.
after you.
All right. Okay. So I got two ideas of the bat. Depends really if we're going more fighting more than casting. But right now I was thinking either a fighter or a ranger. Race-wise, I was thinking either a tiefling for the fighter or a dwarf for the ranger.
Ooh, both are very interesting.
My first idea for the fighter was a fencer, maybe a partner to the heir in his training to become a good well, not fencer but sword fighter.
Yeah.
With
You
with
guys
his
are sword
heritage.
guys.
And,
what kind of kid doesn't go through
yeah.
life and become a sword guy, right?
exactly, yeah.
The
Just
sword
the-
phase.
The sword phase, yeah. Just a sword phase that kinda stayed, because long swords are cool, but I'm more like a rapier guy, the little pointy
Right.
thing.
It's stuck.
It's stuck, yeah. Either that, or I could go with a ranger that will be kind of the dog master of the court, just making
did
sure that everything is going all right. Wait,
No, you're great.
was that?
I have a problem of just talking sometimes when my thoughts are...
That's alright. No worries.
I'm brain blasting, I think is what Jimmy Neutron says.
Blasting? He's blasting.
And yeah, for the rangers, just going making sure that you got enough dogs to make a good hunt on your domain,
True.
and making sure that we are not only threatening by your well-armed paladin, but also by a few dogs just going around, snarling at people, just making sure they are well fed.
Yeah. Hounds provide
But-
a important role as both a tool and companion in the medieval world. And having a lot of them is also like a massive boon, just to scare bears up trees or just scare people, honestly. Like, no person wants to look at 20 dogs let off a leash and then suddenly they no longer have a face, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be my two main ideas. I'm not too attached to either one of those. So which one would be the best for the team?
No one wants to make
Does
that
anybody
decision.
else
for
have a thought about ranger versus fighter? Because I think that either is fine.
Yeah, either works. We don't necessarily have a niche that I think needs filled per se.
They're both pretty good.
I personally think Ranger sucks, but
Whoa!
that's my strong opinion.
Whoa!
That is your hill to die on.
A
Firm.
brave take.
I mean, I'll throw my hill out there, Warlock. Fuck the Warlock class.
You're wrong.
I
Warlock's
was thinking
the
about
best.
playing a warlock.
I personally know a Warlock. They're actually great people. It's rude of you to say that.
I'm friends with a warlock.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Oh.
if you don't have a strong opinion about which side you would like to go, I will offer this. I think your Dwarvish Ranger has very interesting lore opportunities. It puts you in a position of like seeing a different part of the castle and the court that we might not be able to see, right? As like somebody who is in charge of our forests and outlands and knows probably a real ranger, right? And is working for them or with them. So if you are interested in seeing the lore of the world, I think that would be the choice I would go with. As a fighter fencer, I think that you have a really good case to be either like my friendly rival or my partner in crime, my Sasuke to my Naruto as we learn how to fight. So if you're interested in having a very back and forth type of RP with me, I think that could be the way to go. Or if you're more interested in lore-wise, that's how I see your choice from my perspective.
Well, I would have one final question about that.
Sure.
Roleplay-wise, if we were to be Naruto and Sasuke, as you put it, would you? How would you feel that your rival would be speaking with kind of an accent to give maybe more flavor to the fencer archetype?
I love it. I'm all for it. If you are familiar with me, I love to make silly voices and do them, and the fact that somebody can actually do a real sweet accent is up my alley.
Can we just make dwarves French?
Yes,
No.
yes, we should.
No, we can't.
I was going to make the
Come
I was
on,
going to make
God.
I was going to make the Tiefling
Yeah.
works his away from me.
Everyone knows
I'm
dwarves
very
speak.
happy to have a very fun accent if that's what you're up to. I'm all for it.
Yeah, I'm just making sure it's not annoying, Just
Oh, it'll be fine for sure.
We love your accent, John.
Me, my
Okay.
accent.
Sorry.
The firmly Midwestern one, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tell
Really
you
hot,
what,
really hot,
I'm
really
gonna
hot.
That
be
Midwest
the next
Texas
Hokage.
really coming through there.
Yes, sirree, Bob. I was born in them hills. Okay.
So, Jeff, are you leaning towards going down your fighter route then?
all right. We're going for fighter.
Okay.
All right, very cool.
We've got Naruto and Sasuke. Who's gonna be? Oh my God, my brain's blanking. The old frog man. Fuck.
So, Jiraiya.
Jiraiya. Yeah, who's Jiraiya?
The old frog man. I was like, what?
The old frog man.
Man,
I would
somebody
have loved,
got it,
Naruto
okay?
references. Oh, I feel
I
like
would
I'm
have
a
loved to
middle
stick to
schooler
the
now,
bit, but
Jesus.
I would have to switch a few abilities.
That's
Okay.
fine. While you do that, you said you wanted to be a tiefling fighter, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I am just pulling up my tiefling tokens now. While I do that, who else wants to go?
Ladies first.
All right. So, before I do this, I do have one question. Do you do the, I think it's called customized origin, where you can put your
No.
ability score improvements wherever you want them?
We do not do that, no.
Okay, so I'll be playing a half elf.
Okay.
Decision made immediately.
Yep, decision made immediately. So, I was originally from Lingtu Beithan. I believe that's how you pronounce it, because you generously gave us a pronunciation.
I try to.
Yep. Which, for the audience who hasn't read the lore document, is a very politically tumultuous place. And I supported a religious movement, a religious culture, which I have not determined yet, but cough cough, something relevant to our dear air here. It's giving me a bit more of a connection.
Okay.
And for political reasons, the religious movement was shot down, and me, being one of the outspoken representatives of this movement, was exiled, which then, of course, led me to Livistio, being presumably one of the bastions of this religion. Cough, cough. Give me more connections with the air.
So it sounds to me like this is the bear religion, right? Because the state of Livistio is like officially the bear cult or the bear druid cult or whatever it is.
But they are, compared to a lot of other nations, pretty tolerant. / uncaring, so long as you're not actively working to destabilize the country.
Okay, so we have free reign to choose whatever religion we think would be fun for this.
There is so for the air specifically, it's kind of like a faith where you go through the religious, motifs, and you're publicly facing. You are, part of this faith that has, subdued the local druidic population as a show of good faith to them. But in secret, everyone's pretty okay with the understanding that gods walk the earth and there are multiple gods. There's no reason not to worship other ones.
So I have a question
either.
for you, Diggy. Would you like to be part of the public-facing religion of Livisto, right, and the drapery of that? Or are you and I secretly going these bear people, we don't need that. It's actually something else. Is that more interesting to you as a character design, or the other way?
It would be good for either. However, my initial idea was a less well-represented religion. Not necessarily a secret religion, but just something less mainstream.
I don't necessarily mean secret. I mean more between you and me, this bear stuff, when I'm the king, it's gotta go. We're team, Dragonflight, or whatever we decide.
Dragonflight. What?
Well, when you put it like that, I gotta say Team Dragonflight,
Right, it sounds good. That seems like it would be a lot of fun. I'm down.
And committing to the bit that was granted to me by my very strange lighting setup, I'm going to be going with a Rogue Bard multi-class, because, fucking two sides, whatever, just straight down the middle.
Just straight down.
It's a very weird lighting setup, but you know what? I'm gonna roll with it.
Okay.
It's intentional now. It's definitely intentional.
Are you planning to start? Hang on, Seth.
Say again?
Are you planning to start at a higher level too? I'm trying to keep track of how many background NPCs I'm gonna need to be making for you guys, which will kind of happen off stream.
I believe I will be starting at level 3, just because if I'm going for a rogue bard half-elf, I may as well commit to the bit and make sure I get my skill proficiencies.
Okay.
And level 3 as
Hen,
opposed to level 1 or
that...
2, because I've been around the block once or twice.
Hen, I know you're starting at level 2, correct? And you're choosing Mr. Johan, the revolutionary of comedy here?
The greatest comedian of all time.
Okay.
I can't believe you don't know him.
Perfect.
He hasn't written a book, but he should.
And Seth, I think you said 3 or 4. What were you aiming for here?
I don't know. I think we can go 4. That way I can have an enemy. That way we can have...
Okay.
I like it.
4 enemy. And what
I
about you,
hope
Jeff?
it's something funny.
I think I'll go with 3. I like to think at this character with a competitive mind.
Okay. 3 You will definitely have a rival who is trying to, like, out-duel you for the position of local court duelist.
It's me. Hi.
It's-
I'm the rival. It's me.
you just want to be imposed.
So-
You're trying to take his position as the heir.
So if you beat me, do I take your place? You take my place? What the...
Well,
It's
court
fully a thing of you're
champion
only his
is-
rival because he can't let you lose.
The court champion is a very real and old-timey thing where if someone's like, I choose trial by combat, they would literally go to you and be like, this dude has chosen trial by combat, you need to stab him until he repents or whatever. Which is essentially what your position would be for whatever your character's name is. Okay, and I suppose that leaves us with... Actually, you said a rogue bard multi-class there, Diggy?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna find a token that looks somewhat roguish. And I think...
A roguish token is probably the best.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be going mostly bard, but I feel
guess.
like my vibes are mostly rogue.
Alright. I have found a sword dancer, which looks roguish to me.
Hell yes.
That sounds
There we
sick.
go.
Am I also 3 times the size of everyone else?
You're much more than that. Your size huge, which is between huge and large.
Of course, naturally.
Yes. Finally, we have Ruben. Ruben, you've heard all these characters. You are in the greatest position of all. Not having to...
I could do something really funny.
You could. Like, be another bard.
I'm not going to, though. The second we got done with the stats, I figured a wizard would be good for the party. Fills a couple roles. I also like the lore behind Brimland. I want to play a really small wizard with a very big hat.
Very fun.
I just hit.
For his connection to the court, I would imagine he's the royal court wizard or the royal court wizard assistant. Probably recently in the last year, sent from Brimland.
Okay.
I say that because the actual head royal court magician wouldn't probably be allowed to go raise the banners with the crown prince.
Probably not.
On race, I'm a little tied because I didn't see anything about races in Brimland. I imagine it's kind of a myriad of races.
Yes, it's whoever is a wizard and has been, quote-unquote, saved by the Order of Brim.
Got it.
Yes.
I think a gnome would be very funny to play.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
I can't do a really high squeaky voice or anything, but I can play like a curmudgeon-y voice.
Okay.
Kind of your basic know-it-all.
There.
John, tell me if this vibes with your world.
Okay.
But he's recently sent from Brimland, right? Brimland, well known for sending their wizards out to be court wizards and advisors and things. I think it might be interesting if a particular ruler got paired like with a particular wizard, right? So like he's recently finished his wizard training or whatever it is that he does in Brimland, his saving, and maybe the old king has a wizard right now, but they're bonded. And so, like, the Brimland is like, oh, the heir's 22 now? That's of age. You're going to go be the heir's wizard advisor.
That's exactly
so,
what
like,
we were going for sure.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so, like, for a little bit more about wizard lore and the Order of Brim, a few centuries ago, kind of at the start of this age, there was a massive demon war between all sorts of entities. The gods got involved, coming out of their reclusatory states. Nation states sort of got wiped clean and had to do fresh starts. A Eldar Empire, Elven Empire rose. And Brimland was made by the wizard named Brim who was like, hey, all these wizards running about who can potentially summon demons can also banish the hell out of demons. And essentially he got a cabal going, and they sort of just took over a ruined city / tower, and then started training a bunch of wizards to create their own little faction that was at first just a business, and then sort of developed into its own little nation state. But the downside of only including wizards for the most part, and their like immediate family in your nation state, is that you are quickly outpaced by literally everyone else. So they play the neutral, like only neutral faction, and they're like, we'll give you a wizard, they will be your court's expert, don't kill them, don't involve them in silly little wars. They can go with you places and, you know, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. They're going to go on wars and campaigns and do adventuring stuff. Everyone knows that's how wizards game.
So many wars.
But, like, on a political level, they have a level of diplomatic immunity like no one else is kind of afforded to. And in exchange, they provide the identify spell and remove curse and detect magic for courts of mundane people, essentially. And, you know, be on the alert for demons potentially infesting a court of important people.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking
Ruben,
level 3 for him.
You were thinking level 3? Perfect.
Yeah, expert.
Yes. We will be giving you a rival, because I've already thought about this, and one of the reasons why in the court doc I do not have a court wizard is because the last one has just died / retired or has recently fucked off to who knows where. And you're not at the level where you can take his place, so they're sending in a new court wizard, who is technically gonna be your boss in a way, or supervisor, but also has no direct authority over you. It's gonna be a weird situation. And I think that makes for a perfect rival as well. You know, just
I got a new manager. They didn't hire in the company. They hired out of the company.
Yeah, but
he knows what he's doing.
True.
No, they sent a new manager down from corporate. Is I think what happened.
Oh,
for
yeah.
corporate.
New manager for corporate.
They're gonna restructure the 2-person job that is. No, yeah, I could totally be the court wizard for both the prince and the current king. You're not needed here anymore, nerd. My hat's 4 inches wider than yours.
Please tell me that's how they denote who's the most powerful
Yes.
wizard by how
Yeah.
big the hat is.
All wizards from the Order of Brim have a
pretty good.
magical hat that increase with their power. So, like, the
God.
greatest
Level
wizard
20
has, like,
wizard.
a 20-foot brim hat.
I absolutely love that. That's the
Please
best
tell me
part
it's
of
a
the
gnome
game.
or a halfling.
Who knows? Maybe it's just a hat. And we were thinking about a gnome wizard.
You just look down and you see like a huge hat with legs. Tick, 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 tick.
Out of curiosity, what? But if your character was casting a spell, would that spell look purple, blue, yellow, red, green, darker blue? Yeah, I think that's it.
Is there?
Yellow.
There's not another
Purely
blue?
hypothetical question.
I mean, magic's considered usually purple or octarine, but I think yellow is funnier.
Okay. Yellow. Would you cast it with a book in
Yellow
hand or with both hands?
Probably with a book in hand, and if I needed to focus, a wand.
Okay. Well, now you're asking the world. No.
Asking
That's
too
where I
much.
gotta cut you off.
I thought someone said you were here to facilitate, I think.
You're right. Just pretend your
It was
empty
mentioned.
hand has a wand in it, okay? I'm facilitating. Here I am. Okay. I have all of your characters. Hopefully their HP will come through the moment you guys finish up your characterization. However, we're not done. So once you guys at least complete level 1, tell me. You don't have to level...
So I wanted to ask about languages in your world. As a half-elf, I speak half-elf and common. But as a noble, I am trained in a language of nobility of my choice. What would the Kingdom of Livistio's like noble language be? Like, what did they teach all their kids to be fluent in?
We are... So... Yes, you will definitely have language proficiencies, but we are doing backgrounds just a slightly bit differently from normal 5e D&D. In the rules doc, you can see what sort of stuff you get. Essentially, a level 1 character will gain 4 extra proficiencies, with a 2 being directed, or only 2 being able to go into skills. So you're actually going to start with many more proficiencies than what you normally get, Greg.
Okay.
In terms of the importance of languages, Elvish is currently, like, well, Common's the most common, obviously, but Elvish is, like, right next to that, because your area of the world was once, literally a century ago, inhabited by an elven empire. After that, there are large populations of halflings, as well as scattered... Gnomish is essentially, like, a magical language, so there would be reasons to learn Gnomish as well. In terms of, like, smithing and magical items, it's, like, gnomes with a very close, short, distance are, like, elven items. Like, these two races are considered the most magically artificery-like, in terms of conjuring them or enchanting them. If you're looking for, like, a more pragmatic one, like study my enemies, there's Dutch. You could just learn... No. You can learn Orcish.
I wanted to be proficient in Dutch.
Goblin. Oh, the setup. That was like a full 20 seconds of lore followed by...
Character name.
Alright, I will take Gnomish. I think that works well because we do have a gnome in the party.
I also picked Gnomish.
I have 2 questions.
Yeah, what's up?
Well, one question that's relevant. For the background and the character creation, do you want us to just put the one we chose from your rules doc? My god, I cannot speak.
I actually don't want you to put a background. I want you to skip that in the Charactermancer. And then we're just going to manually add the stuff that is relevant for your character. So there's going to be checkboxes once you hit complete or finish. Get your standard equipment. Every level starts with, I think, increments of 100 gold or something. So, like, a level 1 character gets 10 pocket change, but it seems like the heir is the only level 1 character, so we don't have to worry about that. Level 2 starts with 100. Level 3 starts with... 200, I think? Or... I don't know. I'd have to look it up, actually. Yeah, level 2 starts with 100, level 3 starts with 200, and level 4 starts with 300 gold. So if you're a level 3 character, you would start with an extra 200 gold, which you can spend however you want before session 1.
Oh, what happened?
You can find all these in the Google Doc under Livistio as well. Do we want to just be allowed to have average health, or do we want to roll for health?
Yeah, that is the question, because I have to go to level 2 now.
Yeah.
I do enjoy average health.
Like, I don't
Fine with average health.
If we want average, we can do it. If you want to roll it, I'm not going to stop you, but it's kind of,
It's just if you click on the word average, it shows up in the chat for some reason. I don't know why it did that to me.
Yeah.
I know what average means.
Perfect.
Same for me.
Yeah, we'll just do average health for the fun of it. We'll pretend this is Baldur's Gate 3. When you guys are done with level 1, if you could just chill right there, though, that'd be great. We don't need a...
I do have an additional question for you.
Yeah. What's up?
Is there a particular language that would be common in Lean to Baypan?
Draconic would be their
Okay.
version of the religious, or not religious, but magical language. There's a lot more metallic dragons in the south and on the southern coast where, oh, I'm blanking on the name. There's so many names, guys. You're gonna
That makes sense.
I have a
Orlando Tochi, I
Example.
believe, is what the Empire used to be called down there before their civil war, which they are actively having right now.
Shit.
That's why I'm not there anymore.
Yeah.
You want me to stop at level 1 for now, right?
Yeah, just stop at level 1. We'll do all the extra levels off stream, if you guys don't mind. We have to get through some of John's wacky bullshit that he's making you guys jump through.
Da-da-da-da-da-dun.
say I just have one
You were
logistic
just
question.
facilitating, John. My gosh.
How old would I have to be to have been actively doing my job when there were wars?
You would have to be over 20 years old. Or rather, you
So
would have to
be
have a
established-
career of 20 years. So you would.
So I should be at least 60 years old, or 50 or 60 years old.
You could push it to late 30s. Honestly, like,
You should
it's
probably
not an
be at least
enviable
40.
court position you have.
Yes. So I'm gonna go with like mid 50s.
So, like, you would literally... So, your job during the warring period of Gilmore Marchette, or Gilroy... Yes, Gilroy Marchette, the grandfather of the heir. What he would have you do was quite literally hold a banner, walk up to a settlement, like an independent town, and be like, "We declare war on you." And then you would run the fuck away before they shot you with crossbows, longbows, or whatever. It was not a fun position.
Sounds kind of weak.
People would not go with you either. It does.
Nope.
But you would
It
get
was
the
just-
honor of accompanying him in battle as like part of his direct retinue, or the squires of his, which would be somewhat cool, and bragging rights, definitely. Like, I rode with the previous king. I'm a Giga Chad. And then, like, everyone looks at you and they're like, alright, whatever, dude. Like, that was 20 years ago. Get over it. I hope that helped you. Or...
Congratulations on peaking in high school.
Exactly. Yes.
It's cool.
Exactly.
True.
I'd say my hope was not hope, but like my idea was I would be present for the peace talks, but never happy.
Okay.
So you're very
now
happy
you watch
with
your
the new
boss's
air
kid.
racing
Great
banner.
job.
So, Greg, I'm going to post your features and your new flaw. I think you already are established in the flaw that I have helped to facilitate roleplay. Essentially, what these are, or how I view the flaws, bonds, and whatever the hell the... Oh, we already have a name for a character. Andros. Okay.
I just
Personality
put a
traits,
name in,
ideals,
sorry.
bonds, and flaws in the top right. I feel like they're all guidelines, and I can trust you all to kind of choose for yourself what that might look like. I'm not even going to get big on alignment until, you know, you've spent like 10 sessions as your characters. Like, no one really knows if you're evil or not until you have the opportunity to burn down the local orphanage, right? I find that more often than not, people choose that option quite readily. So you're going to get all your racial stuff as normal, but rather than the background, you're going to put down either aspirant, journeyman, expert, or established. And then from there, that's going to help you find your proficiencies. So if you're choosing to start at level 4, you're only going to get one skill. You're taking a hit to your skill proficiencies to sort of show mechanically that you have been in your role and have been doing your job as, you know, fighter or paladin for most of your life. And some of the extra stuff, the opportunities to learn a new language, haven't really been a thing you could do. It's like learning to speak Dutch, and then in high school, and then you spend 20 years in the real world.
Facilitating in Dutch. All right.
Yeah,
These
facilitating
are
in
John's
Dutch for sure.
Yeah. These are his 2 skills.
But
so
never
level
facilitate
3
the Dutch.
No.
True. Level 3 characters have 2 additional proficiencies, being skills or languages you can choose. Level 2 starts have 3 additional proficiencies, 2 skills being the maximum, and then you can choose tools or languages. So that could be instruments, that could be smith's tools for some reason, or you just learn more languages. And then level 1 starts get the most, with 2 max skills, and then 2 additional ones that they may use and put in whatever they want, be it languages or tools. Maybe even vehicles, I don't know. Let's get crazy. Who wants to be experts at dragon chess? Any gamers? our characters.
I do have a lot of expertises to throw around.
Yeah. For sure. Does anyone need help with that part? Okay.
I'm
Then
done.
now that
To facilitate the background.
Yeah. When we are all level 1 at the very least, I have a special thing that I want you guys to track. And I would prefer you put this in personality traits at the top right of your character sheets.
Okay.
Cool.
Essentially, what I want at the end of every session, or whenever I'm doing experience, for us to go around the table and denote what our friends have kind of been up to. Specifically around these 4 traits. For the entourage, and then the... Oof, there we go. In fact, let me put a little dash there to separate that. There you go. So, loyalty, honor, and servility, as well as ambition. I don't know why ambition got cut off there. We're gonna throw that on. So, for my people, my entourage, my retinue people, these are the 4 themes that you all will kind of keep track of and keep each other honest on. Servility being specifically, do you do what the heir tells you to do? How I imagine this will go is John's counting experience, and we're going to be like, wow, you really demonstrated great loyalty to an ideal or the nation that we are a part of. And then we can move that tracker up just a little bit. All of the... or rather, the loyalty, honor, and ambition will start at 3, and will just kind of increase with no limit, no, just a thing that we can look at and think on and be like, yeah, I've given like 50 examples of my loyalty. How dare you call my loyalty into question, you son of a gun? If not, we can kind of look at ourselves and see our ambition tracker going up and up and up and realize, like, maybe it's time for my ambition to outweigh my loyalty to my country right now. Or my honor, for instance. I'm pretty good at sacrificing my honor. We can get rid of that,
That's what we call foreshadowing?
Yeah, for sure. And then servility is going to be the Greg no longer trusts you meter. And he is the one in charge of that meter entirely. All of you are going to have, I believe, 2 to start out there. And then if Greg really thinks that, like, you're going to betray him, he's going to request that you lower that down by at least 1. How's that sound, Greg? You like to dictate to people, right?
Ooh, of course. I'm a well-known dictator.
Yeah. Well, don't worry,
So we're all
Greg.
starting at 3, right? Just so I got that right. All of them
so
start at 3?
Loyalty, honor, and ambition will start at 3. Servility will start at 2 as a minimum thing.
Okay.
However, Greg, you don't have servility. You have tyranny.
Oh yeah.
at the end, or, you know, whenever you guys really want, the group will kind of talk about Greg's action and come to an agreement on whether he is increasing his tyranny or not over you all, over people, making, you know, unilateral decisions for the entire group, not being a diplomat in any way, shape, or form, and just deciding things. If he's really going Joffrey mode, I feel like we should have a number to, like, correlate that, and you all will decide that. Obviously, votes of bad faith I will be keeping an eye out for, but also votes of bad faith but are funny I will probably allow, because that's up to you.
Okay, well, they just admitted that they're a dictator, so
Yeah, they just said it, actually.
Yeah,
I would like
sure.
to vote. Yep.
You know, he was having
As
a
your
conversation.
tyranny
Joffrey?
goes up, my servility will also go up. So
That will work out perfectly.
Is this your business
then.
deal?
It's like Dragon
am I
Age.
starting
Morgan
with the same
disapproves.
3-3-3-2?
Yes. Loyalty is to, like, your countries, your beliefs, your ideals, to the blade, if you're a big anime guy. Every time you try to become the next Hokage, one could argue that your loyalty has increased. You may argue for yourself at any point in the, you know, at the end of sessions while John's doing math and getting distracted and shutting down the stream. Like, John, I feel like I've been very honorable. Can I move my tracker up one? And I would be like, yeah, sure, fuck it, who cares? Or if someone calls out, like, Ruben, you're a dishonorable fuck. You cast Fireball on, like, 8 villagers. You know, we'd call him out there and subtract some honor from him.
They said his hat was small, so it was deserved, actually.
Yeah, I agree.
Can I just say that Greg, loyalty should be to his friends, specifically his best friend. I get to decide.
Of course you would say that.
I think that their loyalty should lie with their religious friends. Remember the order they're in.
Some
I
might
just
say
keep 'em from
religious
dying,
and cult
bro.
are like synonyms, and you know.
Good.
What about the loyalty
Is
to
that
the
friendship? I don't
rival?
know.
I don't know. I did want to.
Yeah, go ahead.
Honestly, with that in mind, so Greg, what do you think? Do you think I'm a bodyguard that genuinely listens to you, or are we moving it down by 1 to start?
Well, and also Sasuke over here. It's gonna be the same,
Sasuke.
right?
Yeah, true.
French Sasuke.
Sasuke.
I am 100% okay with you moving it down by 1 if you would like, and being a little. I think the idea of my character is not only like that I'm earning the like renown and like good reputation of the world, but also of like my party members, right? You're my confidants, but I also like could very well be like, yeah, you don't listen to me now, but one day you'll learn.
So John, is 2 low or is 2 even? Is my question before I
For which category?
for servility.
Who's average?
2 is like you have been around this guy and have like brought him water when he has asked you to.
Okay, so it's not like okay, I'm good with 2.
Like
Never mind.
everyone has had a chance to show themselves as like, yeah, you are the heir, I will listen to you because one day you will be my monarch. Everyone's had that opportunity, but it's when adventuring begins and when we're outside the, you know, eyes of the royal guard. Like, how loyal to your heir person directly are you? Not to the ideal of a king or to the ideal of the country and needing a monarchy, but literally to the man himself, Greg Big McLarge Huge. Or whatever his characters will name be.
I chose the name Glynis to stick with the GL naming of the like lineage, but also Glynis seems a little softer, so maybe a little more
Glynis.
half elf.
The lineage, I love that.
Also known as
The
Glisten
lineage.
or Glinny or.
You better glisten to me
The
or
Glyn?
else.
This is my list of names.
If
I
we
have
get a
for you.
wagon, it's gonna be a G wagon.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. think I have a G-Wagon? I'm a prince.
Truly. So I
I
have
propose
put
we
down.
call your room the G-spot.
Yes.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Get it together.
that means I literally stop people from going to the G spot. That's my whole job.
Exactly.
You're the G block.
You understand, all right? I'm a comedic genius, okay?
So
are.
I have
Going
put
down in
down.
history.
God damn it. Focus up, gang. I have shown you all the handout that is the reputation system. At any point, I may unilaterally decide that some points need to go up or down based off what the world views you as. So, for instance, if you burn down a village and some people get away, everyone's honor is going to go down damn near immediately. Probably loyalty, too. And even if...
Don't look at me when he says that.
If they don't escape, even if you manage to become the true murderers that I know you all are at heart, I'm still going to increase your ambition and lower your honor. Because, let's be honest, the last people who went to that village was you guys, and word's gonna get out some way or another. You guys are in the limelight, as it were.
Again, very rude to the hat, again, just saying.
So loyalty for the chicken chaser is commitment to the bit.
Commitment to the bit, yes. Okay. I'm wondering if there's anything else that I actually need to go over, or we can just. I'm sorry. Bonds. Yes. It's actually written right underneath that. Yeah, bonds. I don't know if you guys can see that. We have extra stuff as well that we'll need to go over. Let's talk about bonds now that we all know each other a little bit better. Or should we take a quick second break here and then do that on the other side?
I'm doing good. I'm alright.
I'm good either way.
Well, if you guys want to power through, let's
Right.
power through.
Do you want this
Oh
to
my
follow?
god, it's a cat.
He's very unhappy. He's like, no, I don't want to be on the stream.
There's a cat.
Look at it.
I would, but mine's sleeping on my bed.
Oh.
I would, but mine's a large dog.
And is also a government employee. Like, you can't,
Yeah.
They
can't reveal
they-
the identity on
Their
yeah,
face can't be
really-
seen. It could get
yeah.
scanned, and it could become.
We
a
would
whole
all
thing,
have to
yeah.
die.
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay. It seems like someone rolled blessed there. Let's talk about bonds.
Yeah, sorry.
We understand that the heir is essentially rivals with the local judge advocate, also known as the champion here. Our fighter guy. What is his name? Or have Jeff.
We're going this way, huh?
If you
I
don't
had
have a name, you
few
can hold
ideas.
off on it.
I had a few ideas. It might change.
Okay.
But the first one I had was a Balzac Chevalier.
You're gonna have to throw that one right back at us. I did not catch that at all.
I'm gonna need you to type that in the chat as well.
As I said, that might have to change.
No, I'm fully fine not being able to say it. That's
You would be.
exactly.
Balzac Chevalier? What? Or Chevalier? Is this literally like scrotum night you're saying? Like, what the hell?
No.
Yep.
Sorry, I
I'm
don't mean to.
I'm changing it now. Yep.
Okay.
No, please stay,
God,
boss.
you shamed him out of his name.
Of course I'm. It's a fucking scrotum joke.
I don't think he intended it to be a
It's not
dick.
scrotum joke. That's like the name of a French novelist, and then
No.
Chauvet.
Is that really a name?
It was.
Oh,
Yes,
was
it was
very
actually
clear.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm uncultured. I'm
That's
so
what,
sorry. Please forgive me.
No, that's alright. That's alright.
It's also
No,
it's just
don't
funny
worry,
to me.
I'll-
I mean, we could roll. I'm gonna laugh every time I go for it.
That was just for the joke. No worries. No, it's just that. I'll have other name later. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I kind of really like Balzac.
I kind of really like it too.
Yeah.
I mean,
We
if
may
you
force
guys
you
want
to
it, I
go
can keep it.
Balzac.
You should have what you want. We just think it's
Yeah.
awesome.
So
I would
good,
enjoy
so good.
saying it every day, but you be what you want to be.
Hey, doing ballsy?
Hey, balls. How you
There
doing,
you go.
balls?
How you doing, ballsy? Going down history.
Yes, Temer. Ugh, our tongue in Jesus Christ.
Oh,
Good old Temer. Oh, Temer in the chat. Always lovely to see you. Okay. Well, we know that you are the quote-unquote rival, or you're being forced to be the rival of the prince here, which may be a trial, may not be, who knows. But what is your relationship with everyone else here?
Well,
wants to-
let's see.
What kind of relationship do you have with the bard, who is the self-proclaimed best friend of the prince?
Ballsy?
We can imagine a relationship.
Honestly, I think I would appreciate the bard just being a few, just throwing yourself a few challenges maybe, more of the verbal challenge, I would say. But
I can't do
I
a
like
single
the
push-up. Like,
yeah.
I have a dagger because I can't lift a sword.
I think it would be fun to have like this kind of let's annoy each other in a kind of a friendly way until it gets really weird, and we start to feel sorry for each other, and we just don't talk to each other for like 2 days, and we just act like nothing happened at all.
Just the worst kind
Oh,
of
man.
jokes ever. We're
That
like,
guy-
hey, can I just... I'm workshopping a new bit. Can I... And it's just like, you gone
You got
too
like
far.
20 to
Fuck
30
off.
to like 1 hour of time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am
I'm chill with that.
doing dynamic lighting now, honestly. Update.
I'll find you out in the yard, ballsy.
Oh god. What about the paladin who is clearly unhinged and living in a golden age that has passed long ago?
the PTSD riddled, like, just,
I respect that.
Yeah, right? See a doctor, but also, oh man.
so every time you say, just thank you for your service, and also you are weird.
Thank you all for your service, sir. You are fucked up. But I like that. That's the weird thing.
Consider getting a dog and consider a pet. Like, where they help.
Jesus.
You
Christ.
inspire me not to get checked, but to like attack every day.
You inspire me to not be like you.
Jesus. So it sounds like you,
You
have
are
a
the
pretty good
definition of the
relationship
road not
with him.
followed.
I think the paladin will be like one of the rare people where I try to be very serious around, because I respect him, but he scares me a bit too.
That's fair.
Okay. I think the paladin secretly likes you, but will never admit it.
I love that kind of mechanics.
It's just, he thinks you're a good influence, but also like he has to keep appearances up.
Yeah. What about this foreigner from a far-off land who has come here for sanctuary and almost like as a refugee, part of the court?
I don't know. Should we have trust in that?
I
don't
can
know.
assure you, I have no political motives whatsoever.
You know, she does
Yeah.
give
Sounds
off
like
this
the thing of
sinister
political.
aura, for sure.
About it.
Clearly is some sort of cutthroat. You're unsure if it's like the metaphorical one or the literal one.
I mean, I'm not sure we can trust each other, but I mean, the area is kinda okay with you being around, so I guess I'm okay with you being around, so we can be formal about it.
Okay. Having professional courtesy, maybe a little bit of suspicion.
A bit.
And finally, our crazy wizard from what is essentially a wizard commune in who knows where. Like,
Berkeley, California.
honestly, more cult-like than anyone else of your entire group, I feel, with his big-ass hat.
The hat could be bigger. It could be, and it will be.
We're getting there.
I will wear that hat, one way or another.
You're gonna steal his hat?
Ooh, that's a quick way to get burned.
But I will steal it from you one day.
It is the most significant thing in our order. Good luck.
True. Quite literally super glued to his head. He can't take it. On the
sleeps with it
job.
on, like-
It's like child-proof, so no one can knock it off. Screwed onto your
Yeah, when he sleeps, he just pulls it down and like turns into like a sleeping bag.
And then I hang upside down like a bat.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Instead of having a bag of holding, it's a hat of holding. It
It's
just
a hat folding. That's where the whole rabbits in a hat jokes comes from, right?
Exactly. Brimley.
Okay.
Checks out.
Obviously.
Let's go with Diggy
I
next.
summon creatures.
Diggy, what was your relationship with the air again? You are...
Can I butt in just briefly before
Yeah.
we move on?
For sure.
Jeff, your character Bossack has a bond with me. You have much to teach me about the blade. I will earn your true respect by besting you with the blade. That is our bond.
I love it.
I also love it. Oh. I'm trying to
Shall
remember what system I played
Yes,
where
please,
that was
sorry.
like a real
I
mechanic.
was just- Huh?
I feel like the
Powered by the Apocalypse, probably?
Yeah. I
Burning
think I played.
Wheel, Dungeon World.
Yeah, Dungeon
like,
World.
Tons of games use them like that.
I very much like that and think that's probably the best part of Dungeon World. Having a mechanical bond that did a thing. But Diggy, what was your bond with the prince again? Please help me out.
So we come from a common sort of religious order, again, I guess supposed to be determined. There is probably on my side a little bit of, oh, this is a politically important person, I should become close to them. But also on the more personal side, it is they have been taking care of these people I've been trying to protect, and I appreciate that.
Okay. And what about their supposed or self-proclaimed best friend?
I think as fellow bards, I can certainly appreciate that. I feel like it's a little bit of a waste, and that she's going to get herself killed. But that is, you know what? That's their prerogative, and it is very funny occasionally.
Before we
Very
move
funny
on to the
occasionally,
night,
putting that
what
one
was-
down.
Have you decided on a character name for yourself?
As a placeholder name, which will probably be permanent unless I get some burst of inspiration. Aleva Hito.
Oh, okay.
Aleva?
Eleva, yeah, sorry. Eleva Hito, sorry.
Aleva.
Eleva Hito.
Levy.
Just making nicknames. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And what is your relationship
Got Ballsy,
with
we got Levy.
Andros, our paladin of
That's me. That's the paladin.
yesteryear?
Roxy.
If the bard is going to get themselves killed, the paladin is going to get other people killed. I'm not the biggest fan of that. I prefer to keep things protected, keep people safe, but after my experience in not looking up how to pronounce it again,
Okay.
The place that I'm from, I don't think I'm naive enough to think that I can avoid everything by protecting people. I am not naive enough to not realize that, yeah, war is going to happen. He plays an important role. He's maybe a bit too enthusiastic about the role he plays.
My gut response in character in my brain to you saying that is his only opinion of you is pussy.
We call them cowards or yellow bellies.
Pussies in the chat. Pussies in the chat.
Oh my god.
That
Get your
is
mind
a
up
dangerous
the
thing to
gutter.
request from YouTube.
You know, luckily we're so
Playing
deep
with
in
fire,
the stream, I don't think it matters.
Listen, chat and I, we're gonna be good friends. We're going great.
What is your relationship with our gnomish wizard, whose name I have yet to find out?
We are both
Snefru.
strangers in a strange land. And I think, if you agree, I think there's some kinship there.
I definitely agree.
Okay. And then finally, well, we know how Balzac views you, who has been absorbed in the void, it looks like, as I'm checking my camera for the first time.
Yeah.
Oh, are you okay, Jeff? Oh, God.
Yeah. No worries. Don't worry. So
Okay.
But
It's
I'm
just a
supposed to be the
honest
person
mood.
with ominous lighting.
Yeah.
You've been replaced.
No!
As you get out ominous by our good friend Balzac here, I need to find out the proper pronunciation of that and like actually commit to it.
Jeff, just
Well,
say
he
it
put-
again for them.
Jeff put in
That sounded
chat
pretty
that,
good.
Felix might be the name he goes with. Felix
Yeah.
Pasaru.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm still gonna
I
call you
think
ballsy.
concern is probably the predominating emotion.
True.
I think being from the place where I am, I've seen countless bodyguards, turn on their, the people they're supposed to be protecting. I've seen countless bodyguards, accept a bribe to let assassins past. And so it is concern that I feel.
Concern. That's fair, honestly. Emperors die when they start trusting their praetorians, as it were. Okay. I think we
All
can...
right. Before we move on,
Let's hear it.
Aleva, you and I have a bond. I will help Aleva as they are destined for greatness. We will see the world changed together.
Is this like a we are friends kind of thing, or is it like a we are religious allies here, and like our god is
Could be
sending us
either
on
one.
this holy mission?
Could be.
Why
either
can't it
one.
be both, John?
¿Por qué
I
no los
watched the
dos?
Blues Brothers, that's why.
See,
Okay. Next up, since I'm going in reverse clockwise order, as well as clockwise order on the stream, but in token level, Ruben, your character named Snefru?
Snefru.
Snefru, yes. How does he...
Steffi!
Whoa, who'd we miss?
Oh no, John.
John is gone.
I'm
He's
gone.
gonna facilitate you guys.
How am I gone?
I don't see
I'm
your
right
camera.
here.
No, John is here.
No, John is
Diggy
here. Diggy bounce.
Diggy. Okay,
Uh-oh.
good.
Diggy
We
has
have the
returned.
thing
Thank God
happen.
someone's
back.
still here to facilitate.
It's fine. We're good. I was warned. Oh, you're talking, but we can't hear you.
My computer does occasionally like to not facilitate me.
It's a lesson in facilitating. John, get on it. Facilitate that.
I'm
Did
facilitating.
you hear what Greg said before it did that?
I do not believe I did.
Oh, okay. Greg has made a bond with your character, saying that he is going to, I believe...
Oh, do you want me here? If you did not hear. Diggy, the bond I have with Aleva is I will help Aleva as they are destined for greatness. We will see the world changed together.
Aw, thanks. Another win
Ambitious.
for the master manipulator.
This is the most
And we are jumping
authentic aw
to
thanks I've ever heard.
Snefru and their bond with the prince.
Sneffy.
Your boy, Sneffy.
I think from the Order of Brim, you have to. It's like a great fear that you are sent back to Brimland in disgrace, and so he's always vying for to be needed by the heir.
Oh.
I like it.
And so he's trying to really demonstrate his place, so he doesn't go back in disgrace.
I see.
So he's a people pleaser. He's a brown noser. You got a brown noser gnome. It's the right height.
All right, so our bond will be, I will soothe Sneffiro's fears, as he will be a confident servant when his fears are assuaged. I'll word that better, but I will soothe Sneffiro's fears, as that will make him a proper ally or a proper servant.
I would say he finds great. He really enjoys the antics of the heir's best friend.
Yeah. Well, perfect. What other kind of relationship might you have with them other than as an observer? Like, what interaction have you had?
I would say you need certain things built or constructed sometimes for a great joke or a great prank. And if Ken came to Snefru and said, "Listen, I got a great idea. Can you do this?"
I need some oil. I need some birds.
So a facilitator to the jester in some way.
Yes,
great. A fellow prankster or an assistant prankster.
Okay. Pulling out the accomplice card. I get it. Is it for the bit, just because it's like pure comedy to you, or is it for like a more political motive?
It's more political.
Okay.
In the Order of Brim, you're trained to be in a royal court, and so you need to pick your allies even when you can, and to have another ally so close to the heir is a very good foundation.
It's true. The fool is often the only other person aside from their spouse who truly has their ear. And if whatever Hen's character's name is going to perform that role in the future as their royal fool, it is a very good ally to have. But what about Jeff?
Jeff scares him. He's only seen a couple other tieflings, and someone who's so martial and so physical is different because Sneffers of such a diminutive stature. I think all the main marshals in the party are going to be intimidating to him.
I see.
Jeff, he doesn't know if he likes Jeff because Jeff and the heir are constantly at one another. So I think if the prince said, "Hey, I need you to fireball Jeff next time he's in combat," like that's the level. He has no great bond with Jeff. Sorry, Jeff. I love you, but sorry.
It's alright. I understand.
Hey, that's an admittance of he's respecting your form and shape and physicality. Is there no better compliment for a fighter than a person admitting, I'm terrified of you. You're gonna kill me one day. What about Andros? What relationship do you have with our good buddy here?
He also wants, again, as in these wizards, I think they want to have a rivalry with one another in some way. My kingdom is doing so well. So when he sees such even a faded glory hound as Andros, he likes that small spark it might burn into the air of a new golden age to the kingdom. So he actually likes Andros.
Andros, yeah.
Andros. Yeah, he likes him a lot.
I dig it. We can kill people with fire together. Love it.
Jesus.
Purity through the flame.
Okay, well then. Last but certainly not least is the Barg Rogue, who is clearly trying to position themselves to be a little bit more manipulative.
I think there's an equal respect and even a comfort, as she mentioned earlier. Maybe they have tea together. Maybe they gossip. I don't know. But it's the one friendship that he wishes wasn't political. But in court, all friendships are political.
Very true.
Tragic.
Truly tragic. Okay.
And you can't go to anyone else in the court and say, these Livistians, man, I don't understand it. She would be someone he could talk to about that.
Very true. Like, why are they going on about Bear Brother Billiam again? Like, this random folklore character who's like a... Oh, what is it? Paul Bunny? No. Is it Paul Bunny? No.
Paul Bunyan is what you're thinking
Paul
of.
Bunyan,
Yeah,
thank
Paul
you.
Bunyan.
I was thinking of the notorious serial killer on accident there. As
Yeah.
one
Paul
does. But
Bunyan, Ted
Andros,
Bundy,
we're
same
gonna move to
thing.
you real quick.
Oh, speaking of,
We're gonna get out of that headspace right now, and talk about your relationship with the prince. It seemed like you were earlier like, hey, should I take my servility down to 1 because I don't respect you? But
I think honestly, I was given this job. I will do it. There is nothing that's it. Like, I think my thing is I secretly want to like them, but my whole goal here is to do my job and to regale him with stories of his grandfather and how we fought together, so that way we can maybe get to the place of like, hey, look at those fuckers on the border. We should do something about that.
why are they independent?
You know, like,
Let's bring them in.
why aren't they here? Like, come on. I'll take
You
you on
gotta
your
pick
first
a
battle.
side.
It'll be great.
You heard of Conquering Kid? You tried that before?
But I do think, depending on the heirs, you know, like how we go through this campaign, there may be a moment of, you know, repositioning myself. Like, fuck, I actually like this guy, but yeah, I think that's where we're at with the prince.
Okay. Prince.
Andros, you have insulted me with your overbearing protection. I will show you that I am capable.
Weirdly, I think that works for me.
Okay. I suppose we should talk about the heir's future royal fool, Andros, who... You know, I don't want to prime you,
Utter
but they're fucking
disdain.
around while you're trying to get shit done. Like,
Utter disdain. Just I
Rossi,
feel like
my man.
I'm the main target of a lot of your shit, just because I am unfailingly blank.
mm-hmm. You know, it's always the straight man who's the easiest to make fun of.
I think, like, in a moment of weakness, he might smirk at something you do, but that's the most you're ever gonna get out of him.
One day, man, you'll laugh.
To question that a little bit further, if let's say hypothetically a practical joke is played at your expense, would your immediate reaction be like rage and aggression? Or like, oh, here we go again, sort of dismissing? Like, what would be your immediate response, do you think?
Like, theoretically, if I covered you in, like, oil and, like...
Hypothetically.
Theoretically.
you know.
Theoretically.
I think, honestly, he would look to the prince for permission. His gut reaction would be to go to violence, but if the prince tells him to be calm, he will.
And do you facilitate this violence, Prince?
I don't think that I've been involved in it directly yet. I feel like he's had his like run-ins, and then I've come in after the fact and been like, ooh, you know, what's happened here? I don't think I've been there to be like, beat some ass or don't.
Okay.
So then we haven't had the one that's gotten me over the edge yet.
Yeah, we haven't gotten to that yet. It might happen on screen. Who knows?
Who knows? Moving on.
I had my friend Bolsey there to help me when that happened.
Andros, what about this Gnom who showed up as court wizard, excuse me, who is here to do some magic?
I think he honestly kind of likes him, only because it seems that he remembers the old court wizards and how they were as big of glory hounds as him, and he knows that he can use this gnome to get what he wants.
Yeah, just hasn't had the interaction yet, or...
We haven't had... I mean, I think maybe we've definitely seen each other, because I am the Princess Bodyguard, so it's sort of a passingly acquaintance, like, I know you through your reputation kind of thing, but I don't think we've actually sat down and talked. Unless you think we have. I don't think to each other. I think we've been in the room when lots of talking's been happening. Yes.
But we haven't, like, talked to each other.
Yes. I've kind of just been a poster board in the background while you've been talking to people. And through what you say, my opinion of you is actually kind of okay.
Okay. Glowing reviews. It's like going on
We're
Yelp and
assuming
looking
Rossi
at your
doesn't
local...
know that Snaffy and me are like tight. Like, he did help me do some fricks on you.
No one knows that we're tight. That's the whole joke.
We're secret best
No one
friends.
knows where you get half the things we use.
Okay. What about this conniving spy master wannabe who showed up randomly in the court, who's totally going to replace you one day? What do you feel about that?
I don't think we trust each other at all. I would say there's never a moment that we're alone in the same room together, and there's never a moment I allow you to be alone in the room with the air.
Oh, holy shit.
I think that's where we're at in this relationship, which is, like, you've been allowed to exist here, and I hate it, but...
No, after you.
I think I trust you more than you trust me at this point.
Probably, because I'm not gonna outright harm you, but...
Only bad things await those who... I don't know.
Oh boy, I'm excited.
When a bard isn't a jokester, they just can't be trusted with a 10-foot pole.
Well, so with the jester, it's like, I know what to expect out of the jester. Like, I know they're gonna be a dipshit. This one, though, I don't...
Finally, there is, of course... I feel like I'm just gonna butcher them every time. I know it's Balzac, but...
You don't have to say it. I mean,
I don't
you
want
can
to
use
call your
other names.
character Jeff. Jeff?
You can call him Felix, I guess.
Felix?
Just Felix. Yeah, Felix, alright.
I'll
Felix,
settle
alright.
for Felix.
Are we no longer Balsac? We're now Felix.
All right,
Nothing
Felix.
definitive.
Go ballsy in
just-
my book, man.
What does... That's his middle name. What does Andros feel about Felix?
I think he's honestly the person Andros is closest to. I think he may be one of the only people he's had a one-on-one conversation with. He thinks that he's a good influence on the air because he allows him to get a taste of, glory and championship and blood and all that kind of stuff. And Andros he likes this other dude that likes to fight. And he enjoys this person that enjoys him as a martial entity.
Does Andros's view change for the fact that I'm just going to declare it right now that Felix hasn't been in war before? He's just been fighting.
He definitely sees him as a little bit of a poser, but so is everyone else in this court.
Yeah,
Damn.
that's fair. That's reasonable.
So the only person here who's close is probably him, unless there's some other older soldiers or anything like that also served in the wars.
Yeah.
But to most of the people he interacts with, it's just, you all don't know, so fuck you, but a champion duelist, they're kind of there.
Okay. Have we decided on a bond for your bodyguard? Oh wait, yes we have. You will one day no longer
We have
need him.
indeed. He insulted me with his presence.
Bullshit, yeah.
With his overbearing protection. And I will prove to him that I am truly capable.
So it's not a, like, you dislike me, it's a you dislike that I think you need me.
Exactly.
Oh, very, very cool. Hen, I don't know your character's name. What is your character's name?
So I was considering calling myself Ava, not to be confused with Abba. Listen, we're different people. And then I thought it'd be really funny if my name was Yonsei, and it would be Johan and Yonsei. And like we yell at each other across the room, like Johan, and he's like Yonsei. And everyone hates it.
It's gonna be so hard for me as a character not to laugh at this shit.
Yonsei, I need help here. I'm going into sepsis.
Johan, I'm coming. We don't talk like that. We don't have those accents.
Okay.
It's only when we talk to each other.
It's all performative.
Oh man, we're gonna have a great time. That's my relationship right now with you, John DM.
We're facilitating.
With that one
That's
first.
what we're doing.
Yeah, I facilitated that for you. You're welcome.
Speaking of facilitating, other than just being the self-imposing best friend of Greg Big McLarchuge, also known as Galinus, what is...
Gilly Man?
Yeah, a Gilly Man. Okay.
Yeah. So Yonsei is like super into the idea of being, of course, the best gesture of all time, and also being Gilly Man's like foil, like just always trying to like bounce ideas back at him, like build him up a little bit, like be his hype man. You know, like we're going out, we're gonna be doing something, like let's go, Gilly Man. You're gonna be on your best. You're gonna look cool. You're gonna act cool. I got all the deets for you about everyone. You're gonna know everything. We got it. Our brainwaves connected.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just this ultra positive force.
Yeah, exactly.
Yonsei,
Unendingly positive influence. Absolutely.
you and I have a con running.
Yeah.
We will get the best of that stodgy old court jester with a masterpiece joke.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. One day. We'll do it.
Okay.
That's when we know that we've won, actually.
Yes. Yes.
What about the curmudgeon that is actually Andros? This guy who can't take a joke, who probably hates your guts.
Rossi?
Yeah.
Rossi's gonna laugh one day.
Rossi's
gonna laugh. Rossi's gonna laugh at my joke. It's gonna be funny as shit. And I'm gonna break into tears because I'm gonna finally... be like, that's like my Mount Everest right there. Like, Johan is up there, you know, but Rossi is like, he's like a separate, different mountain that I consider, you know. He's like, okay, winning against Johan, perfection. Making Rossi laugh, like, no one can take him seriously after he laughs. That's like the perfect way to destroy him, is to get a chuckle out.
It just
I'll do it one
undercuts
day.
all of the imposing.
Yeah, which
Alright,
unfortunately means
yes.
that Rossi is like Yonsei is like constantly experimenting different like methods of comedy on him.
I am the sounding board.
Like, yeah, we've tried slapstick, like we've tried you being pranked on, we've tried you seeing me be pranked, like I've tried to show you my type 5. Like, I'll get it out of you, man. It'll happen.
What about Snefru here? This new court, well, not new, but like he's
Sneffy?
been here a couple years. Sneffy. Yes.
Oh yeah. Sneffy, I would say, is probably the only one that knows about Yonsei's like slightly conniving side. Like slightly, like subtly, like too smart for his own, for her own good side. His own good? I don't know. I haven't decided on gender yet for Yonsei.
Oh.
So like we definitely plan together, but we're like the wink wink type, you know? Like when we're in the presence of other people, where there's like a little bit of like distance, you know? But like when we're like alone together, we're like, how do you know about this shit, man? You know what's up? And absolutely, yeah, helping each other out with things. We got each other's back. We both know that we gotta make it to prove ourselves to other people that have bigger hats than us. Metaphorically and literally speaking.
Alright, so if he knows about your conniving side, there's no way the conniver supreme does, right? What's your relationship with this new addition to the conniving crew, which seems to be this triangle I have made?
Yeah. You made this like I never has Yonsei like wanted someone to die more. Like,
Whoa, that's extreme.
That's gonna be what you and I bond over.
Yeah, I can't
like
wait
as
to get rid
soon
of
as
this
she
lady.
arrived, Yonsei was like, "Nope, cannot. Johan can never meet her. She can never be in the presence of Johan. Like, he
Jeez.
can't know that there's someone out there that's better at keeping secrets than I am. Like, this is wrong. This is bad.
Just
She's
direct
evil,
competition.
and I hate her. Gilly, all right." She's probably in a cult. She eats bread weird. Like, so many issues. The list goes on.
Alright, I have to ask now. How do you eat bread?
How else would you eat bread? Knife and fork.
Knife and fork.
You slice
How
your
are you
own
supposed to eat
bread.
If
No,
Andros
it's
ever
all
saw you
about-
doing that, he would just go, "Bitch."
What?
It comes pre-sliced, but then you slice it again.
Oh God,
Order
see,
your
terrible.
piece of bread. Oh god.
So wrong.
Hey,
Not
hey.
even a sandwich, just bread.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, where she's from, she's seen people get, like, executed for eating bread wrong. Like, it wasn't the fact that they ate the bread wrong, it was just an excuse to execute them. But
Right.
she saw it happen, so...
Truly.
The bread wars were real, yeah.
Bread's yeah, they're-
Okay. I can only wonder what your opinion on Felix will be then.
Ballsy, my best bud.
Okay.
Ballsy and I, we got a job here, all right? And our job is to make Gilly the best king in the world, all right?
Right.
I'm over here to
Right.
buff his smarts and to make him look super cool and awesome. And Ballsy is here to make him do push-ups and look super strong. So we got this double ting thing going. We're like on his shoulders, you know, like hanging out, like giving him advice and talking. So like we got like we're synergizing, and like one day me and you, man, we're gonna be living the lap of luxury underneath this awesome king dude. Like,
Is this a formal agreement
You gotta
or just
get there,
all in
alright?
your head? That's my
yes,
question.
exactly. This is all in Yonsei's head. Like Yonsei like sleeps like this, like staring up at the ceiling, just like thinking intensely about all these things. Like every day, going over like every like little conversation. I'm like, was I cool enough? Was I cool enough to Snaffy? Does he think I was cool?
So, do you just act... Well, no, you've already demonstrated. You act way too
Yes.
friendly with everyone.
Oh,
as if
absolutely.
You've had,
So friendly. Yeah.
like 20 more conversations than you actually
Friendly with
have.
everyone except for that one.
Jeez.
Except for the other bard in the room.
Man, I feel
As soon
bad
as
for
she's in,
Diggy
Yanti's
right
like,
now.
Eva. Like, where
I feel
you?
bad for Diggy, but I mean, they've made a character that is
You gotta
Don't worry,
love
I'm
the
loving
outlet.
this.
Honestly, a
yeah,
master
we're having a
class
great
then.
time.
If has just united all of you immediately by just saying a few key words like, "Don't trust me." Like, yeah, we're not going to trust you, of course. That makes perfect sense.
We were told not to. We will not.
Hey, I think that you should definitely trust me. I think I'm incredibly trustworthy.
Again,
okay?
not something a trustworthy person said.
Exactly. See?
I wasn't
This is the
there.
only time Yahtzee and I agree.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the only thing we agree on.
Okay.
I'm super trustworthy. I'm the most trustworthy.
Yes, you are.
Now that we
Yeah.
all know how we all feel about each other, and the heir has plans for all of you to either prove you wrong, to have a score or a joke prank war with the royal fool of your father, or to make your wizard the most big and huge wizard of them all, or to... use the
Oh, I
manipulation.
really should have said something about making his hat bigger. That would have been really funny.
It's gonna be the biggest hat in the world. You're gonna love it.
Exactly.
Our
yeah.
next Bond, hat related.
Mhm.
It's gonna be huge.
And of course, people just swinging swords. Who doesn't like that? God. What an adventure already I've been on that you guys have led me. But speaking of adventures, I like to view D&D as a carpool where at any time, for whatever reason, someone can just lean over to the driver's side and just sort of take the wheel wherever they want to go. So sometimes this is into a ditch that we will have to push the car out of for several sessions. Other times it's a bridge where we just go straight off into a bridge under construction and then fall and then have to take a vastly different route as our car becomes a boat. Other times, we're just driving down an idyllic lane. This metaphor has gone on too long. What I'm trying to say is I'm currently the one behind the wheel, right? And I have decided that as we get used to our first characters, we deserve a little mission/quest before I give the wheel over to someone else. This will be your first little mini adventure. It shouldn't take more than a session. I doubt more than 2. Definitely, probably not 2. Maybe it'll bleed into 2 just to get back or whatever. But things have changed in Livistio. And now I am going to give you the premise of our first mission. As John fixes the display, we are in Livistone at the start of play, specifically in the castle that is clearly not to scale, because this castle is clearly a 15 mile cube of land, which would be insane. Obviously, the castle's not that big, but it is of great importance. Recently, the king, your father, correct? Gilness. Okay. I'm gonna have trouble with fantasy name guys. I'm so sorry. It's why all my bad guys are named Dan, just for fun. Glynis. Fuck. This is gonna take me a moment.
Would we prefer a hard I or a soft one?
Whichever. I just need to hear it.
Or
Glenn to
2.
me, baby.
You decide.
I intended Glynis, but I
Glynis.
would be down with Glynis.
Glynis. Your father, Gilmore Marchette, has recently had a daughter who is both a threat, just purely because they could one day stab you in the back. Maybe they won't. Probably they won't, At least by then you'll be 40 by the time they're 20, so hopefully that won't be a big thing. But your father, to assuage some worries, has decided that it is time to develop your own lands further and cleared out quite a bit of bogland and forest over on the southern side of Livistone, right outside, essentially, where this territory will be built up by people who will be in a grand tournament that we won't really care about since there's no reason for us to participate in the tournament. We've already won, LOL. Let the poor knights and landless warriors struggle for supremacy and maybe become a knight of this new land. Your sister, your newborn sister, will one day inherit this land, while you will inherit others, as well as, of course, the castle, and become the de facto ruler of this nation. She will in one day become a duchess, even, and hopefully start a branch family so that if crisis or tragedy occurs, there will be spare members of the Marchette dynasty who will take over. However, this land development has caused a slight increase in monster raids, specifically of goblinoids, bugbears, and the forest/mountain tribes of monstrous humanoids in this general region. And their goal for you is to essentially track down a supply shipment of tools that they have stolen, which is somewhat uncharacteristic of them, seeing as these are like bandsaws and like team saws and not weapons. It's very rare for monstrous humanoids to like want industrial or things to have or a tool for industry. Most monstrous humanoids are capped in tech, and some are willfully technologically backwards as a way of appeasing their goddess Tiamat, who is not D&D Tiamat. It's not the five-headed dragons. It's more Babylonian than whatever the fuck Gary Gygax was smoking when he decided she was a five-headed chromatic dragon. I think it was cocaine at the time, but who knows? I wasn't there.
Probably.
So you guys are going to be out adventuring, foresting, going out on this seemingly, somewhat dangerous, but also a good experience for you to interact with the wilderness and wildlife, for you haven't even been taken on hunts with your father. You haven't had much of a social life or a way out of the castle, and here is your big breakout moment. After that, come February, specifically close to the start of spring. Oh, did we lose someone again? Or did someone just turn off their camera suddenly?
Just a camera went off.
Okay.
Yeah, Seth apparently had the general is there's something going on with the general.
Oh, the general.
They have to move the general for security reasons, and they had to turn his camera off.
Understood.
Yeah.
No, that's March. So I have a big calendar of things that will happen. So on the 2nd of February, whatever fantasy month, we're just translating all the months to just our months. It's easier for me. There will be a pre-spring celebration where nobles will come to say hello to the newborn princess and, make merry, have an excuse to have a party, or a banquet, really, and meet both you, the future heir, hopefully on the back of a great victory of smashing apart thieves and scoundrels in the woods. And then, from there, you're essentially going to be able to do whatever the hell you want. As if you get yourself killed, they at least have a 2-year-old who can take your place.
Wonderful.
For those of you wondering when we are starting, it will be 2 days after a Winter's End festival, and on the 12th of January. You won't need to keep track of that if you don't want to. I will be keeping track of the dates. For those of you at home wondering why we care so much about the dates, it's because our long rests are going to take a week of narrative time, which means these beautiful calendars are going to help out immensely so we can track what we're doing during that downtime, going out between adventures and other sorts of things. Travel, I assume, will be a big part of this campaign. This isn't a campaign where we just teleport to dungeon entrances. And it will be quite politically heavy. So, time will be of great importance to us. You're great. I get it.
Is the general safe?
Yeah, she is in the midst of teething, and one of her canines fell out today, and so she bled all over the fucking place, and my partner is a little worried. But we're good.
Okay.
I get that. Without going into dog
And John
cages.
also loses teeth, yeah.
Yeah, I lose all my teeth
Also
every
teething.
day. Yeah. They grow back, though.
It's terrifying.
Yes, it is. Any questions about the first mission and or the premise of when we will start our session 1 next week? Where'd my music go?
I kept my headphones on. So.
I don't believe so.
Okay.
We are off to recover the stolen equipment and have a starting challenge for the new heir.
Yeah.
I think you mean that we're off to save the fucking day?
Save
Alright.
the day.
Yeah.
Get pumped? Get ready?
Get huge.
We are going to be raising a banner for the first time. A brand new banner. My banner. What will it be? You don't need to answer that now, but
Your sexy face.
something. Oh, baby. Something to think about. We're basically going to be making our own crest and raise it as a banner. I don't know what that could be at the moment, but your input is welcome.
As you are a
If you
prince-
actually,
I'm so sorry. I just want to point out.
I am sure that I have my family's banner, the triangle with the stripes, but I'm
No.
going to
what
create my own.
what I'm yeah, I know.
Being
What I
ambitious,
say
John.
is that you should add a crown motif into it, whatever it is, because
Okay.
you are a royal.
I like
You're
that.
not just a noble. So whatever design you have, try to incorporate that of like, I will one day be king. Very few nobles have that in just the world, right? So that's like a very big
I was gonna
sign
say,
of
if you're-
prestige.
if you're wanting like in character input, then we can give. Or are you wanting like out of character? Like, what do you think
Both
would be
are
a good
welcome.
idea?
In character input, we can definitely have like in session if that's something we want to do, and like out of character input also welcome. I am just raising that as a thing to think about for our next session
Okay,
because it will be our banner that we unite under as a group. So
very true.
I don't want to force one on you.
Make banner is now on my to-do list. Okay,
Beyonce already has great ideas.
perfect. Then with that, I will task you with 1, creating this banner, and 2, sending me art so I can update your character tokens, or not just character tokens, but your nameplates here in the stream. Currently, you're all question marks because I don't know what your characters were going to look like. And I will change your funny names to your character names, as well as put your player names in parentheses. Rather than Chicken Chaser, it will now be parentheses Hen or Henrietta.
Beyonce chicken chaser.
Beyonce,
actually.
gotcha. Okay. Then
Chicken
I had a
Chaser was my
lovely
father's
time. Do we want to do shout-outs if we have any shout-outs?
Sure. My name's Greg Hansen. You can find me on twitch.tv/Greg Hansen or at YouTube with the same name. I do my own Dungeons & Dragons streaming. I have about 2-year backlog of West March's campaigns, along with a few others that you can find. Hopefully, that same West March will be back up and running within the next 3 to 5 months, and you are welcome to come join us. It is open to everybody. It has sign up, and we have a good time. I'm looking forward to this campaign. It's going to be a good time.
Anyone else?
I will shout out the podcast that I occasionally am on and manage, Infinite Cities. It's a gaming podcast. It's my boyfriend and his friends, and sometimes me talking about games. And we've been around for a long time, but we're mostly just friends.
You should send that link to me, and I'll post it in the chat.
Oh, cool. All right. I will do that. If anyone knows what Blaseball is, which is super niche, once upon a
Blaseball?
time, we were Infinite Cities.
Oh,
Blaseball.
hell yeah.
We were ICB. Still around. Still alive. Go tacos.
Okay. Any other things? Jeff, you got
I'd like to shout out my twin. They're pretty cool. They're rad.
your twin?
I would have
Yeah,
Okay, hell
they're
yeah.
cool.
I'll
shouting them
I'll
out.
also shout out my twin at the same time.
We have 2 twins? Jesus
2
Christ.
sets of twins. Wow.
You guys
Two
look nothing
strangers in a
alike.
strange land, 2 twins.
Fraternal. Come on.
Yeah.
Jeff, any shout-outs you'd like to make?
I would be glad to give a shout out to my own channel, but I think there will be kind of a language barrier kind of thing. Oh,
Well, I know one
I shouldn't.
fluent French speaker who watches us, if you'd like to send it my way anyway.
Jeff speaks Dutch, actually.
well, it's www.twitch. twitch.com/jodjeff, JODJEFF, and yeah, I do a lot of D&D Star Wars, and we're trying to get back on the road with a campaign. Yep.
Hell yeah, actually. I'll definitely want links to any sort of extra channels you guys get so I can spam them out at the end of every session that we do.
Nice.
Seth,
This will officially be my one and only online presence ever. So...
Well, it makes sense. Your dog is super important to the United States.
Yeah, exactly.
True. It's true. You can't be too online with your dog.
Fun fact, actually, when I joined the military, I had to take an extra week in joining because they did not believe I was a real person because I had no online credit or federal background at all.
Oh my god.
Did you
All
live
I
in
had
a
was a
cabin?
social security number and a... Yes! I'm from the mountains!
Well, that makes perfect sense then. Yes.
And that's
Like, we
exactly
need to
what
look
a
for this
CIA
guy's
agent
Why
would
he's
tell
in-
us.
Yeah,
that
that's
is exactly what the
exactly.
CIA wants us to think. Yeah.
Well, guys, I'm still, what do you call it? Workshopping my own outro. I used to say, as always, don't die, when I said goodbye, but I feel like that's a bit more menacing than... You know, that campaign just didn't have enough player death, and I feel like I kind of jinxed myself by allowing them the option of just not dying when they could have lived. I don't think I want to give you guys that option. I think we're gonna go to Danger Town quite quickly. Force is a
And Beyonce dies, this is gonna be a national outrage.
You're gonna make it a national outrage.
I'm gonna make it a national outrage.
I think if anyone but Andros dies, there will be sadness, but if Andros dies, it'll be like, oh, whatever.
Damn.
He was getting up there.
It was his time.
Okay. Seth, you and I need to create an enemy for you, and
Yes, which I'm excited to do.
I will need some rivals as well as... we got a lot of level 3 guys, so we got a lot of rivals who are out for your offices. Mr. Greg, you are the person with the only positive feature with a background called, I believe it's just called Inspiration. I don't believe in D&D's Inspiration. I shouldn't reward you for role-playing. I think that's why we do it in the first place. However, you have essentially a special roleplay thing of literally rule of cool, but the mechanic, where you can just help people by interacting with them, by doing neat and interesting stuff. So these guys are playing D&D 5e.
I'm very excited to...
Yeah.
I'm very excited to, like, throw some inspiration around. Should be good.
We lost again.
We lost Diggy again.
Yeah. It's fine. Hello, Diggy. Welcome back.
We love fucking you.
Your camera freezes perfectly every time, and I'm not really keeping track of it, so I never know if you're actually disconnected.
Yeah, I do think you're just like deathly still, and then you.
I'll have to just do a constant.
You gotta
idle
stay in
animation.
constant movement. Yeah.
True.
Get my steps in.
There we go. Okay. I forgot where I was. God damn it.
Rivals.
I'm so
Yeah, we
sorry.
got a lot
No,
of cool
inspiration.
stuff ahead of us that I'm super excited about.
Inspiration.
Inspiration. Yes, Greg can inspire you all with his
Glenny boys.
Glenny boy! Glenny boy! Brow mouth. Alrighty, it is officially 9:03. It's time to head on out. People watching at home, thank you so much. Brood, you better watch it, mister.
I'm gonna thank all my fans.
Okay.
You guys in the chat.
Say bye, everyone.
Beyonce's
Bye.
Dream well, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. See you guys next week.
Die.